Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our president, founder, and chief executive officer of North America and the Shop.com Global Family of Companies. Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger.
Take the corner, join the crowd. Headlights, headlines, another junkie list to fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger.
It's way too fast, fast, fast.
He is our president, our founder,
It's pumping
our
engine.
CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger.
Turning my direction. Going faster with gasoline. So give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Ridinger. Thank you, thank you. Wow, thank you. It's so good to be together. Welcome to my living room. No, thank you. Well, it's always magical when you show up again, because I don't know if you will. You have to have fun with the business. You really do. Because you got in the business to get out of a job, which is no fun. So we need to make sure that we have fun and enjoy it. And maybe I'm preaching to myself. But it's kind of like little Johnny the Snake. Now, Johnny liked to have fun. Little python snake, like an UnFranchise owner. And he just wanted to go out and hiss around, So he went out and started hissing out in his pit, just hissing around like a python does, hissing and having a great time. His mom heard all this hissing out in the pit, and she came out and said, "What are you doing in my python pit hissing?" He says, "Well, I'm a python. I'm learning how to hiss. I'm having a ball hissing." His mom said, "You can't be hissing in my pit. If you want to hiss in a pit, you go over to Mrs. Potts' pit and hiss." "Why do I got to go over to Mrs. Potts' pit and hiss? This is my pit. I'm a python. I want to hiss in this pit." She said, "You get on over there if you want to have any hissing going on." So he went over to Mrs. Potts' pit to hiss because his mom wouldn't let him hiss in his own pit, even though he was a python and she was always hissing in that python pit. He figured he should be able to hiss in that python pit, but he went over to Mrs. Potts' pit, started hissing around. Mrs. Pot heard all this hissing. She came out and said, "What are you doing in my pit? I'm Mrs. Pot. That's my pit, and you can't hiss in it. If you want to be hissing, you go back onto your python pit and hiss." She said, "But Mom, Mrs. Pot, my mom said I had to get out of my pit and come over to your pit, Mrs. Pot, and hiss. So here I am hissing in your pit, Mrs. Pot." She says, "I don't care what your mama said. You are in my pit. I'm Mrs. Pot, and you get back in your own pit and start hissing if you want to hiss." Wow. Went back to his own pit because Miss Pot wouldn't let him hiss in her pit. So he had to go back to the python pit and hiss. And his mom heard all the hissing out in the pit. And she said, "What are you doing back in the pit? You're being disobedient. I told you to go over to Miss Pot's pit and hiss if you wanted to hiss. You can't go here and hiss in the python pit." It's my python pit. So, okay, Mom, you know, Mrs. Pot didn't want me to hiss in her pit. She told me that was her pit. She was Mrs. Pot, and to get back in my own python pit and hiss if I wanted to hiss. So I was hissing over there, and now she sent me back here to hiss, so I'm hissing in the python pit because I'm a python, and Mrs. Pot wouldn't let me hiss in her pit. Wow. She says, I'll be doggone. I remember when Mrs. Pot didn't have a pit to hiss in. It's kind of like the business. How do we build the business? We have fun and we hiss a lot. We hiss in a lot of places. And because of all that hissing, it's gotten a lot bigger, hasn't it? And I want to thank you for this big pit today we're in. I'm not Mrs. Pot. I'm JR, and I'm an UnFranchise owner. And I'm going to do some hissing. Wow. You know, I just want to set the stage. I want to try not to go too long. I told them that back there, and I've never been able to keep that promise. Somebody said the other day, boy, that guy sure can talk. But that's what happens. You know, I just want to talk to you tonight as an UnFranchise owner to an UnFranchise owner. I don't really like having to be a CEO or run the company, and thank God that Mark does such a great job as our COO, because it allows me to get back with you. That's really what it was all about. And just share with you some feelings, some thinking. You know, we're amongst family here. We're amongst friends. And I think sometimes it's just good to have a heart-to-heart talk about what it takes and what we should be aware of and to stay on course. You know, and so I'm going to be like Fat Joe. I'm going to be real, and I'm just going to lay it on you. And if you don't like it, it wasn't meant for you. Right? You know, one thing that I've learned running this business, or I learned it a long time ago, but especially when you become the company, you're kind of like the ultimate say. You can please all of the people some of the time, and all the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. Some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but never all the people all the time. So at some point, there's got to be, this is the way it's going to be. Let's agree to disagree. But as Dennis says, you got a dream, you got a goal. Don't get stuck on the dot. Don't get stuck on the little thing that wasn't your way, or you couldn't change, or you didn't like, and miss the whole big picture, because there's a dot in the middle of that marker board, and you're so close to it and so stuck to it that you can't see the big picture. And it's the big picture that you want. Let's not get stuck on details that don't take us where we want to go. I also love the saying, for those who understand, no explanation is necessary. And for those who don't understand, no explanation will ever suffice. And boy, isn't that the truth. You know, Lauren mentioned in her little thing, and a lot of that stuff was wrong. When I get my shot, I'll correct it all. But she said, I stayed away from my parents for 5 years and my family because they didn't approve of what I was doing, because I had an education and everything. Not quite that. They didn't understand what I was doing. They didn't understand the business, and everybody around them thought I was nuts. So I just went on and made it work. But, you know, it's a matter of understanding sometimes more than anything. So if you don't understand, no explanation will ever suffice. I'll just go out and prove it to you. Same thing with the shopping annuity. Same thing when I first started with these guys here, first plan, showing the plan, you know, people weren't jumping on board. They didn't think it was, they thought I was nuts. They didn't really understand it. And of course, you know, 6 months later, when Elizabeth hit master coordinator, she got a trophy that big. But we didn't have anything, and these guys got in. Look what we have today. You see, what are you going to do with it? And I also know that you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know that you don't know it. That's why I didn't get mad at my dad. But people around you, people out there, and even your own organization quite often don't know what they don't know, and you haven't explained it to them. So they become vulnerable. Either vulnerable just in building the business of what the people say to them and do to them that discourages them, and they don't have the mental strength because they don't know how to process it. So we need to make sure that we're good mentors, good coaches. And my favorite saying of all is, don't forget where you came from, because you might not be able to find your way back. Now, I live by that. I don't know, you get making big money, sometimes you forget where you came from. You start hitting director, executive director, field vice president. Don't forget what got you there. It was people. The volume may be very steady, but the people may be very unstable, and they need you. And it can domino. We all know that, right? So at any rate, I'm not here to give you a lecture. You know what the beautiful thing about this business is? That it becomes whatever you want. People like to blame it on the business. This is really a magical business. And it's been designed as a transformer, so we can change with the times and always be relevant, always on the cutting edge of what's market-driven. We can sell anything. We can do all types of things like I've just done after 24 years of putting the parts together, put the car back out on the road, fresh tires, powerful engine as a shopping annuity. Okay? And I'm going to win the race. And if you get in that car, you're going to win the race. Well, you don't know if you haven't driven it yet. But, it's kind of funny. The business is like a fluid. Okay? You understand the business, right? The concept, everything that it is. How many people can feel like they understand it? They got it. They know what Market America, the UnFranchise is. Okay, so now I'm telling you something. I want you to make your wheels turn. It's like water or a liquid, a fluid. It isn't really anything. It's different for every single person. If somebody fails at it, right? It's not that the fluid doesn't work, that the business doesn't work. It's that it was poured into that little cup and it had holes in it and it didn't work because it's working like a water tower for somebody else. It was what they saw in it. It's the way they valued it. It's the way they trained for it. Is this making any sense? So whatever your problem is, whatever the situation is, whatever's holding you back, or whatever success you're having, or whatever major you're in, it's because the fluid, the water, is filling the container that's you. Is this making sense? It becomes what you want and what you are. Absolutely, unequivocally, that's the way it is. So that's why it's so different maybe for Elizabeth Weber and somebody else. I tell you, Frank Keeper and Elizabeth Weber are greatly different. But they're filled with that Market America content, that fluid, that belief, the essence of what it is. So I'm telling you that I have a container now that's called the shopping annuity that makes a lot more money. And you can decide to adopt that or not, but the fluid of Market America will take on the form of the vessel. Where's that slide? So how big can you think? You see, I say dream big, you'll never be bigger than your dreams. Think big, you'll never be bigger than your thoughts. And there it is. Where is that? Okay, so we're not together. Let me go back here, and then I'll put the slide up. So that's remarkable. Now, you know, Jim Carrey, the actor, did this speech, commencement speech for this. Basically, I guess it was kind of like Indian Hindu University, really universal thinking. He's really, really an enlightened person. And I love when he said, I don't think you understand who you're dealing with here. I have no limits. I cannot be contained because I am the container. Ooh, you can't contain the container, man. Well, that's kind of how I feel. And anybody that feels that way certainly is going to fill the Market America container. So how big can you think? You know, dream big. You'll never be bigger than your dreams. That's for sure. And you become what you think about all the time. You do know that when I was 21, I got a tape. Guy sold it to me for 15 bucks. We've come a long way. You can get everything now. You don't have to pay anything. But I didn't have the 15 bucks, but it was called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It went on and on and on and on and on about the common thread that ran through all people who made it and went to the top. And it built and built as a crescendo. I said, well, you get to the point? What's the secret? He finally got there at the end of the tape, and it's you become what you think about all the time. I said, that couldn't possibly be true, or I'd be a girl. But we do become our predominant thinking. And thinking leads to believing, and you have control over what goes into your head. And some of you are listening to the wrong people, and you're around the wrong people, and you don't listen to audios. I've listened to an audio every day of my life for the last 30 or 40 years. I don't want to tell you exactly because you'll figure out my age. And I'm tough mentally. And I stole a lot of material because originality is concealing your source. So when you have a lot of cool things to say, people listen to you. What happens if your group listens to you? So you all have a choice. You can lead the parade or follow. People say, what's the key to success? There's lots of keys. But certainly, if you want to be successful, you have to identify a paradigm-shifting trend that's going to change the future. A paradigm-shifting trend, and position yourself to lead the parade rather than getting in at the tail end of the parade. Now, I can tell you something for certain tonight. You're at the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right program, with the right business. And if you lead the parade, you're going to get rich. I'm just telling you right now. It's not up for question. And I have a guarantee for you. I can guarantee it. I don't know if you'll be along. I don't know what your vessel has in it. What happened to those slides? Did they ever go up? They did? Okay. You see my dam? Hoover Dam? There it is. That's my cup, my container. Go back one. Go back one. That's Elizabeth's. Pretty big, though, compared to yours. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, go back to where I was. Please. Hurry. You're using up my time, okay. Okay. So, are you going to lead the parade? Because I'm going to do it regardless. This has been my dream, and it took nearly 30 years to get in position to do it. I believe wholeheartedly in the logic, in the reality, in the need, in the divine providence of this concept, that it can free people economically. And if you understood, the reason I spent that time yesterday is you don't know what you don't know. And you need to know why it works. Now, did you see yesterday how Market America has always kind of been the shopping annuity, but we didn't have the right engine? We needed parts. Did you see that? Do you agree? Do you believe? I'm asking you. Do you? I mean, was I talking to the wall? Did I accomplish anything? I mean, so, and the thing that makes the difference between lasting success and temporary success, and we've seen people come and go over the years, is real simple. You have to be integrity-centered. You have to be committed to doing the right thing, not the thing to win at somebody else's expense. And that's at the very center of our thinking. It has been in the industry and with this company. If something doesn't make sense and it's not logical and it doesn't serve your interest first, or we win over you or you win over us, that could cause it to fail. All we think about is how will this help the unfranchised owners. Is that true, Lauren, Mark, Dennis? So, you know, the thing is, you got to have your mind on the right things. I remember when I was a kid, there used to be this place called Moore's Field. And we used to sneak out there and go out, you know, under the barbed wire, and there was all these cows and horses, and used to be these cow pies out there. And it was kind of like a game. We'd bet if you jump on that cow pie, it'll squish between your toes or it'll break up into pieces because it's hard. And we'd bet, you know, couldn't really tell. So, you know, I go, woo! But a lot of times there was a lot of flies on the cow pie. Now, right away we knew it was probably wet then, right? So we would be hitting it, we had played a game hitting a stick. We take sticks and hit it and try to get the flies off the cow pie. You know, and no matter how hard you hit, how many of us hit, those flies would keep coming back to the cow pie. We couldn't get them off. And that's the way you need to be stuck on the business, by the way. But what it goes to prove is a lot of people are like a fly, they get stuck on the crap. Isn't that true? Okay. Where are we here? Can I have the next one? Because I don't know where I am anymore. I'm in my living room. Next. There you go. So, what I've been talking to you about over the last couple of days is simply my why. It's my why. It also happens to be the company's why. But this is what I'm about, the company's about, and it's a simple purpose. It's a cause, belief, mission, goal, dream. All those words are synonyms for it. What's your passion, goal, dream, identity, purpose, wish? You follow what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you one thing. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. And you can go home with that. I'm telling you right now. Whether you're going to be successful or not is greatly determined by that. And so when you get a why, you just don't say, oh, my why is my kids. What do you want to do with your kids? How would you make things better? You need to define it. And if you're passionate about it, you're all over it, aren't you? A dream board, at least a goal statement. And then how? You see, how is where we break it down and we figure out what to do. You know, most people that get to your point and want to be an entrepreneur, they have to go out and find something that'll work. And they misfire a lot. A lot of times they go broke trying to find it. You already got it. You don't need to figure it out. Do you agree with that? That's 50% of it right there. And then what? What's basically what results from how we do it, driven by why we're doing it. So you can't start with what, guys. You got to start with how. So that was the original vision yesterday. And how long can you hold on to your dream? Michael put this up yesterday. I was talking about this concept 9 years before Market American, basically vetted it out, tested it. And the components of it, like the mall without walls, product brokerage, you know, the marketing plan, concepts, all were working. So I tested it before I tried it on you to make sure it would work. My point is this, is how much of a direction of purpose do you have? See, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if you don't stick with something, you have to keep starting over. It's better to stay on one stream and one goal and one direction rather than trying different things every month. But you should know that you're already in the right direction, that you made the right decision. That's why we come to these. That's why I bark at you so much. I hope that you absorb it. Okay, are you getting it? You with me? So what do you stand for? What do we stand for? You know, it's amazing, this business. It's been amazing what's been coming out. There's scores of people that are now second generation unfranchise owners because their parents passed. And they still have 100,000 or more residual income. That's the strength of the plan. You know, there's other people that their children are now UFOs on their own, like you saw yesterday, that are hitting it. What a great way not to have to pick up the phone for the next 30 years and every time they need something, you got to pay for it. That'll catch you on the way home. You know, and then those are the positives. In other words, this plan against everything else out there has been proven over and over again to be the most profitable and stable business ever created, period. And the plan, my biggest problem is the plan works too well. Now, I'm guarded in saying that because I wouldn't want it to work worse. But it works so well that some people, I counted it just a couple of months ago, there's over 15 people making six figures, some 200 grand, that haven't been to a convention in 5 years, 10 years, some of them. Unbelievable. Well, that's the other side of the coin. You follow what I mean? It's a management performance compensation plan. You know, the old saying, cooked leg. Okay, well, it's great that a leg is cooked. Who's going to eat it? Huh? Or is the ham going to rot on the table? We got a cooked leg here. And, you know, I really appreciate that. I know it's just a euphemism or a saying to say, man, we got this leg. It hits every single week. I don't have to do anything. There's a leader in it. They've grown. I've duplicated. Great. But you still have a management performance responsibility for that leg. So when there is a problem or something does go wrong in the leg or they are, you know, having difficulties handling situations, you know, it's your responsibility. You don't have to work every day, but you want to make sure that your children are okay. And that's all. So you might not be able to see it, so you got a great excuse, right? That's how strong the plan is. There's 20 times the required volume coming up that. It's not doing 5,000, it's doing 100,000. So you would never see the volume. But do you listen? Do you hear? Are you awake? There are your cattle out there. Somebody's poaching them, man. Somebody's poaching, somebody's screwing up your people in any way, mentally or whatever. Because let me tell you something. The plan is so powerful, and the way it duplicated down to reach a point where you're on easy street and really enjoying life, that's the plan, right? That's the deal. That's great. But you don't want it to go away. So when they're stressed, remember, they're your children. And you need to listen and go down. I'm done the lecture. But what's our number one product? Don't let anybody mess with the belief. That's the bottom line. That's what we built it on from the very beginning, this group of people. When we didn't have anything, we had one great product, and that was belief. Okay? We had nothing except loyalty, okay, belief, respect, and integrity. And that's what we built this company on. You know, so what do we stand for? You know, I certainly hope that you don't have an entitlement mentality. This thing is ready to explode. I mean, look at all these people that have become millionaires. And now we have the 100,000 Club. I mean, it's a testimony to average people becoming entrepreneurs with a business model that really works. And, you know, already these numbers are old. You know, they're always old. When you get your financials for the year, you're 6 months into the year, so they're 6 months old, and you're thinking at one level. But we're over $4 billion, you know, that people have earned. And you know what? A lot of people get excited about that. It depresses me. It disturbs me. I know it's good proof of concept, but that's it. Because, in my opinion, we haven't done diddly. The power of this thing is so great. And I really believe we're just beginning. You think that these people just began? Well, they had the hard part. They dug the ditches. We did the hard part. Now we're ready to start. And you can all be rich, and we can fill this place with directors. I'm just telling you, let me tell you, it doesn't come easy. I love what I do. Now, people say, you're a workaholic. I say, you got it all wrong. Well, you work all the time. Yeah, well, the thing you got wrong is I also play all the time. And I work hard and I play hard, but I can't tell the difference between working and playing. So I love what I'm doing. And to me, it's play. You know? So you can call it whatever you like. Just, you know, I counted it up the other day. What I am, if you want to know what I am an economic evangelist. What do? Economic alchemy. I turn spending into earning for people and get them a residual income. Well, how does that work? See, when you talk about this, there's no way that they're going to go, oh, is it multi-level, is it selling, is it this? It is absolutely enthralling. And it's what we are. But, you know, I looked at people that don't recruit, I don't understand what you're doing. You got to be locked in your closet. Because people all the time ask me, what do you do? Why are you here? Saw you on Facebook. What was that about? You know, they say you doing well. You come to this convention, send pictures out one. People say, what were you there for? What do? Not tell them anything? Go hide? It's impossible for me not to recruit. People are always asking. They're getting conversations. So I just don't get it. There's got to be something wrong with your belief. Because you can't live and be in this business and believe and be committed and not recruit. Because they recruit you. Oh, man. So, I just did a little math. I've done, including Taiwan, 60 of these conventions. Of these 60. Now, you know, that's just a number. You have no idea what goes into doing these things. Incredible amount of preparation for new releases, presentations. I mean, it's big. 60! 21,000 plans. 21,000 plans. Been in 40,000 homes and towns. I tell people, where are you from? They say, oh, you never heard of it. I say, listen, I've been everywhere. If I wasn't in that town, I was in the one next to it. Hitting the road. Name a town, and you know, I've been to there or the next town. 104 moving ups, 360 local district seminars, 1,500 emails answered from people. I don't mean sending out blind things. I interact with people. How many people have interacted with me? I answer. I talk to you. I have my ear to the rail. I'm one of you. So we're in touch with people. We're connected at the grassroots, and I can say that about the corporate team too. We're in there. We're doing the ABC pattern. We lead by example. Everything that we teach you worked, and we do it. I still do it. You know, some of you didn't do it you did it 15, 20 years ago. I'm doing it right now, every single day. So I can look you in the eyes and I can smell whether you're doing it or not. How many people understand what I mean by that? So after all this, of course, Market America has become a two-sided coin. It's real simple. I just want to make sure. Did you understand this yesterday? Somebody might come in because of our incredible university and university majors that represent a multi-billion-dollar industry where you can have a business within a business. What an incredible aspect. If you're just a cosmetic company, you can't get people in nutrimetrics or, nutrition or web centers. But we got it all. And you don't have to do that section. And of course, the other part of it is everything. The shopping annuity. And so if you flip the coin, heads you win, tails you win. If you keep flipping it though, you're going to get a heads and a tail, and that's when you get rich because it increases you to the maximum profitability in the store or the area that you came in for. And I want to tell you something. I've been around this industry for a long time. I was on the board of directors of the DSA for 2 years, two terms. I have consulted for numerous companies before I came here, was an executive. I don't like the industry, and I wanted to distance myself and move away from it because it wasn't principle-based. But we have 23 years in Market America of success, a record that stands on its own, cannot be questioned, and it's a drum roll that I'm not going to waste 15 minutes giving you. But I hope that you know it. And here's the most important thing. Since we started, and we've had some people leave, but it wasn't because of us, because we've kept every promise, okay? We've kept every promise. Maybe we've been a little slow sometimes, but so have you. There's not one thing that we said we will get done. This is where we're going. This will happen. This is what's needed. That it didn't eventually become functional and a reality, and we kept our word on it. Would you agree with that or not? Other companies don't do that. They don't care about it. And you know the magic moments of the company. 23 years, a test of time with Dennis, Marty, people like the Bowlings, Kiefer, Weber, Rick Hannon. And we've had our moments of truth. We've had our moments of truth. Now, I say this so that you understand that this is something that you can invest your life in. And I always said, we're partners with them. Don't talk about them like that. They're our partners. I tell people in the warehouse, I tell people in the office when I'm starting to do, why seminars now about why we are, our history, so that they understand. I explained to a person in the warehouse, somebody's waiting on that order and they worked hard to get these customers and they don't get it, they don't know what to tell them. And then they leave and then they have no net, nobody to catch them, they don't get paid anyway. Unless they get that order, and they understand that. But, I tell everybody that we are in a partnership with 180,000 entrepreneurs that want to make it, that want a piece of the dream, that want to be able to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and do better as people and free themselves. They don't want a handout. They want to make it. And they've invested in us. They're our shareholders, our stockholders, because they've invested their life in what we're doing. Not money, their time. And Dennis, we never forget that, do we? Kevin, Marty, Joe, it's our center. Why am I going over all this? Because the rumors are spread by defectors, deviants, jealous people Because when you succeed, you become the target. You see? If you're at the top in basketball, you got a great team, everybody else wants to beat you. If you're at the top in your field, in computer science or marketing, everybody wants to take a shot at you, right or wrong. Well, they're wrong and we're right. And I'm telling you, I forget what I was saying, but, recently I got one that came back. It was out on the voicemail. A defector trying to compete with us, trying to proselytize an organization, puts out that, because see, they always need a lie or a reason to get people to listen, because things are too good. I mean, what's so bad? There's nothing better, so they have to do something to get them off rail and make them want to listen. Would you agree with that? So someone made up this thing that we have sold the company to the Chinese. I don't know how come I didn't know about it. Well, of course it's not true. And I've addressed this when we were just 15 years ago. I was offered $180 million for the company. That was a lot for a little guy from New Jersey, small town, no capital. Then I addressed it at a convention. Then, about 5 years later, because of the equity markets and whatnot, every month we get an offer for the billions. And the billions, it's not for sale, because it ain't mine. Watch this.
You're
Video?
doing really well. I see it going. Are you going to retire? Retire? I'm having too much fun. You going to sell the company someday? We get an offer every week now, every month, for anywhere from $600 million to $1 billion. And I have to write them a little nice letter. I'm sorry. Market America is not mine to sell, because it's the hopes and dreams of people, and if I was to sell it, I'd be selling you an empty shell. That's the bottom line. It's not mine, it's yours.
That's the truth. You see? And why? You really are shareholders, because you've invested your life in this. And we respect that. That's all I'm trying to tell you. And there we are, came from nothing. And now the reality of what I wanted to see happen is starting. So the most important thing that I need to get through to you, and I don't know where you are on it yet. I know some people are pretty good on it, and others are lost, others haven't even started. But it's the golden circle. This is absolutely the golden key that runs through everybody that makes it in here. It's a determining factor. So you came here and you spent all this money, and you sit on a hardback chair all day long and then go to meetings at night. I would hate for you to go back and not get the most important thing. And so everybody gets into business and they focus on what we do. Is that true or false? What we do, the plan, recruiting, the basic five, that's what we do. And hitting pen levels, earning checks, selling product. And then you get to the how, that's the training, right? But why are you doing it? Because let me tell you something, when you get into this business and go out there and start to do it, it's not going to work automatically. It's like Dennis said, every football play, we should score a touchdown if everybody did their job. And I'm moving the body that I'm supposed to move. But you forget there's resistance. They don't want to be blocked. Does that make sense? So a lot of times that perfect plan, when we execute on it, there's things that happen, and you're going to need a why. You think your friends and your family and the people you know in the community are going to be excited about the fact that you made the decision in your life to pursue your why and go out and build a business and be an entrepreneur. You think they're going to encourage you and applaud and say, hey, that's great? No, they're going to say, man, you're nuts. Who, you? You can't do that. You're crazy. It'll never work. Who are you? You're nothing. Your good friends and your family. Let me tell you why they do that. Because if you succeed and you have that why and drive and you go make it happen and you make 6 figures residual income, it shows them up. And they have to deal with their own mediocrity because you came from where you are and made it and are now free. So they rather discourage you and criticize you than applaud your effort because they're jealous and they don't want you to make it. That would have to make them deal with their mediocrity. So go do it anyway. You see? So you start with why. This is a nationally, a worldwide acclaimed concept. He didn't make it up. It was the truth. It was already there. You can't make up the truth. The truth is the truth. And know ye the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So you need to know this. So anybody that's a great leader, anybody who leads an organization, you'll find that they're focused on why they're doing it. They really have that embedded. They're solid on it. Okay? So what's your why? So if you're not doing that, you're just doing the how and the what. And when people, like the person that I just talked about criticizing you, hits you with those type of dumb comments, you're crushed. It affects you. Not the person with the why. They'll turn it around. So, it's a simple purpose, cause, belief that serves as a unifying and driving spirit or force of any organization that's built. So if you have an organization of people that have a why, it's going to grow. It's teamwork, makes the dream work. Okay, but you have to have it. So anybody that's ever built a business usually has people that get hired or get on their team that are looking the reverse way. They're looking at what they do, okay, and then how they do it, and they never get to the why. So when things go wrong, they don't have the answers. They can't come up with the answers because they don't have the real logic of why they're doing it. Does that make any sense to you? So it makes all the difference in the world. Now look, 24 years ago, we had nothing. I mean, come on, you got to believe me. Nothing but an idea, a dream, and a belief. We didn't even have products. We didn't even have literature. And somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody set up an appointment with me with Dennis Franks in an office in Ocean City, New Jersey, a real estate office. It kind of led from a fraternity brother. And I got all excited, man, tearing it up, drawing it out, scribbling all over the paper about the mall without walls and this new revolutionary plan that solved all the problems of the industry. And it was so sloppy, Dennis had to copy it to understand it. Here it is. Now look, for 23 years, that man's been my partner. And we've been through thick and thin. And we've helped thousands of people become successful. You know what the greatest achievement in life is? To positively affect one other life and inspire them to be as great as they can be. We've done it with thousands, Dennis, thousands. Do you see that? But why? It wasn't easy. We had a lot of stuff happen. It's been a war, but our flag is still standing. And why did we go through all this? Because he had a why. He got the why, that passion. He bought into the belief. And then he made it his own. I mean, I'm blessed. It's divine providence, I guess. But so a lot of people are comfortably miserable. They just kind of go through life. So, you know, the reason the company was formed was belief. Remember that it's our best product, you know. So you have to find your union with the company's why. Now, our why, this is very unusual because you can have a why and be at a company that doesn't care about your why. And you can't really get your why from that company. Would you agree with that? The very unique thing about this, and remember, number one, you have to have your why. If you don't have it, you better go start looking. It's a lot of fun and establish it. But then the company, actually, part of our why is achieving your why. Do you all recognize that? What a better situation could you have? Our why is your why. Our why is about making your why a reality. Where are you going to get a better playing field? Wow. And that's all we do. So our how is the unfranchised system. The why is this passion you see up here. You see, the how is the unfranchised system. The basic 5 assessments, 5 steps, duplication. The what is UFO levels, qualifying for the SABP, MPCP, and major residual income. So are you doing it backwards? Ask yourself right now. You're looking for the key for you. Why did you come here? I want you to go home and say, wow, I know what I got to do. So something will change. I mean, why you do it, your values, your beliefs, your emotions. Why did you spend all this money and come all the way to Miami? To have fun, to party? Or somebody made you go? See, most people do it from the outside in. And that, has it ever occurred to you, why doesn't everybody make director? I ask it all the time. Why doesn't everybody make it? Well, the biggest reason is they're starting the wrong way, with how. I mean, with what? How, and then why, rather than why, how, and what. Can you make that change? Because if you can, something magical is going to happen. Because never before, when a person did that, did this happen. You see, MA's why, how, and what. Primary why is doing what it takes for you to achieve your why. So when your why is right, and it's aligned with the company's why, wow, you have real power. Is this making sense to you? So we have to bring them together. When we're aligned with our cause, mission, purpose, dream, goal, whatever you want to call it, what happens? Something magical really does happen. Not only is our interests and efforts aligned, okay, but there's a spirit, there's a bond, there's an energy. In fact, when you get this right, it's not even up to you because you're drawing on higher powers. Because the passion that God gave us to create and to be successful and to rise up and to become everything that we can become connects us to that power. I hope you understood that slide. When your why and the company's why intersect and emerge and become one, there's magic. You can't stop it because whatever's needed will appear. I know you think this is hocus pocus, but I'm telling you something, I've experienced it my whole life. The greatest thing I had going for me was being very average and almost poor, just above the poverty line. Because I didn't want to be average. I hated it that I was just average size, average height, average intelligence. I wanted to be great. I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that my parents struggled as teachers and coaches and nurses. I wanted to do it all. They thought I was nuts sometimes because I was a dreamer. But it drove me. I wanted to make it and prove that it could be done. And that's what you have to have, folks. Where is it inside you? So the circle triggers a success chain in the universe. You can call it luck. You can call it circumstance. I call it the universal law. You know, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. But you don't even know what you're asking for. For all things are possible to he who believes. You believe in that? God created man in his own image. He gave him the ability to create and the ability to think. And you're being led around like a dog on a chain by somebody else. I don't like it. And that's what we're about. So we have the why and the way and the how for you to make it, and we want to hook up with you, but where's your why? Because it won't work. We're wasting our time. Am I making sense to you? I'm going to tell you, it's out of your hands. I experienced this in my own life. I told you a minute ago about my fears, but because in my mind I was possessed by being great and excelling at sports or whatever I did. By the way, you want to know what anybody who's good at anything, what they have in common is? I don't care what it is, bowling, skiing, bike riding, running, chess, mathematics, language. You want to know what they have in common? All of them. They do it a lot. They lie and act like they were talented. They practiced a lot. Take that one home with you. I can tell you one thing. They may not all be doing it a lot now because they did it, but when they were growing, they did it a lot, a whole lot, because I was there. So, but at any rate, the why activates the limbic brain. This is dangerous. This is actually scientific. This is proven. There's papers written about it. That when an individual falls in love or they get a why, it changes everything. Not only do they become genius, come out with solutions. I've seen this in my own wife. I remember when we first got together, like she was telling me about, she used to sleep to noon. You know, I had to get her up and say, I need help. Now she won't go to sleep because she's coming up with great ideas, solving problems. She's genius. You say it? But it stimulates a part of the brain, which is the most advanced part of the brain, that gets insights, epiphanies, ideas. Even more powerful than that, it draws on a greater power of universal consciousness because we're all a single ray of light from the one light. So the answers come to you. The people appear. Somebody knocks at your door. No matter what goes wrong, the right circumstances are attracted to you. That's why all your deadbeat friends say you got lucky. Whatever. You know? So that creative cycle that I teach, you know, it starts with a thought. You keep that thought in there and you're passionate about it, believe, it becomes a belief. When you accept it, when you accept the fact that it's a reality, and you might have to do some work to do that because your logical brain is saying, that's impossible. That's too much. You need to break it down to little pieces so that you can break and say, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute and show it to you. But if you have a goal, if you have a why, you have a dream, you can break it down, your brain can accept it, and it accepts it, it's done. It'll manifest. It always does. How much proof do I have to give you? You know, so which one's it going to be? A follower or a leader? Is it in you? To be a leader? Is it? See, that how and why God gave you, we didn't know how it worked before. But now they figured out biologically, physiologically, scientifically, how it happens. And it's all substantiated. So the hocus pocus all of a sudden becomes science. The neocortex and the limbic brain hook up so that if you're driven to do something, you automatically start saying and doing the right thing and making the right move, and you sound brilliant. Is this making any sense to you? But you have to have the why. So it's more than just motivation. That billionth of a volt goes off, boom. Princeton University did a study for years in their psychokinesis lab. Determine what it takes for a person to change their mind. You ever hear that? Or to make up their mind. Change their mind or make up their mind, rather than having other people make up their mind or change their mind. Women all the time say, well, I changed my mind. But did you make up your mind? 1 billionth of a volt snaps across someone's cerebral cortex. Boom! And destiny can be changed. Because they made a decision about something that was uncertain and undetermined. And the fact that they made that decision changed destiny. Like what Dennis did when somebody tried to compete with us. He threw him up against the wall trying to undermine us and say, don't you steal my dream. Like Marty did when those guys came to him. Like Mark did when I was going to give up because I thought it was ahead of its time. I wasn't making any money. I was used to making $250,000 a year. He says, don't give up the dream. I'll stay here and hold down the fort and make it work, and you go out and do it. If he hadn't been that way, maybe I wouldn't be here. When Tony and Pam stood up against it and said, JR, if you'll be our sponsor, even though ours left, we'll stay in. You know what they led to? The future was uncertain. Nobody knew what was going to happen, but they had a why, and they believed in what we were doing, and they made up their mind, and that set in motion what carried in motion to develop an organization of hundreds of directors. What about you? Are you going to make up your mind? Are you going to make that magic moment while you're here? Because that's all it takes. That's what it's all about. Well, you know, when this happens, it becomes your DNA. You know, DNA is no longer just a biological term. It applies to organizations, the sociology. What's the DNA of this organization? What's your DNA? What's your identity? What's your code? You see? So all these things work together. And I can spend as much time as you like and explain them to you so that you understand them logically. But at the end of the day, when you have the why, it sets off a chain reaction into your brain, in the universe, and causes things to happen. Even if you don't know how it's going to happen, it happens. And it's the greatest confirmation. So now I believe, I have to watch what I think. I really do. Because I'll attract it. I tell Lauren, don't you dare think about any more real estate. Because it happens. And God guarantees it. So if you believe and have a goal and a dream and a mission and a why, and you accept it, it's already done if you accept it. It's God's promise. We were given the power to create. Everything will happen. You see, so you should proceed with expectation. I'm not preaching religion, but the reason Jesus could walk on water was because he knew he could. And, you know, he knew he could and had total expectation and acceptance. And if we are grateful, if you know you're going to get something, aren't you already grateful? Geez, thanks, Frank. You're going to go field president. Thanks a lot. You follow what I mean? So we have to be thankful. So call it what you want, but a thought, an idea, a vision, why, dream, programming forms beliefs, determines attitudes, determines feelings, results in actions, results in your behavior, and it determines the result. Sorry, you've been working the wrong direction. No wonder you're only a coordinator or haven't made it to the first check. But guess what the good news is? You can change that tomorrow. I mean, so every great leader who set in motion something that changed the world had this. You know, the Wright brothers, there was another great entrepreneur that had all the money, the investment banking, everything to do the fly, to be the first plane to fly. But they had the passion about, we want to fly. We believe it can be done. And they did it before him, with all the money behind him and the plans and the engineers. The bicycle shop guys did it first. And when he found out, he quit. He gave up. I mean, so, you know, so whether it be Gandhi, you know, Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, okay, they all have it in common. One man, one speech, immeasurable impact. He wasn't telling people what to do. He wasn't telling people how to do it. He was telling them why they should do it. I have a dream. Nobody knew about his meeting in Washington. There was no newspaper. There was no advertising. There was no social network. He didn't have an organization. But the word spread because he was talking about the why. 250,000 people show up. I was 16 years old and there. I'm going to tell you something. Steve Jobs, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes. Are you one of them? The ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify them, vilify them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do. We can do it. So look, I want to give you a little ammunition. Because if you got the why and you're going to go out there in the battlefield of life, you have to have some ammunition. You agree? So you need to know what we have that nobody has that makes us better, that maximizes the probability that if you have a why and do this, you're going to become extremely successful because we have something that nobody else has that can take us together and you individually to heights never seen before. You meet anybody ever that got with a company that made it and they were there in the beginning? You know, they were at the right place at the right time. And they got in and they took a risk. They had the guts and the gumption to do it. And all their friends told them they were crazy. Timing, but they did it. And as a result, they're one of the Google guys or whatever. Have you ever met anybody, or it might have been in a real estate project or development, everybody says, that's swampland. Somebody makes a fortune. Have you ever experienced that? Okay. I'm trying to reach you. If you haven't figured it out yet, that's happening right now here. And people look back and say, well, I was there, but I didn't do it. Ha, ha, ha. Dennis did do it. Elizabeth did do it. And we're right there right now. I'm talking to you sitting in that seat. That's where we are right now. It's going to happen. I'm shouting at you because I want you to be successful. I want you to get a piece of it because you deserve it. And you spent all your money and flew or drove all this way to sit on a hardback chair. We don't pay your way. Where in corporate America does this happen? You come on your own volition because you're an entrepreneur and you have hope, a hope that something can happen, a hope that you'll find something out, a hope that you can make it happen. And here we are, sitting on a hardback chair. In corporate America, you can't even get the people to show up to a meeting. MarketAmericanShop.com. First thing we have, who else has this now? Think. Everything people buy, everything that people want or need at a lower price and a better value through, Tony, the mall without walls. True or false? True or false? Well, who else has that? Does DaVita? Well, is that what they're called? You want to name one? Name one. Okay, maybe Walmart, but they're brick and mortar. And they're going down, finally. Okay? So Market American Shop can provide everything that people want or need and spend money on or spend on in their lives. Everything that people are shelling money out for, we have at a better price. Do you get that? Do you agree with it? A truly 360-degree experience as a product broker and internet marketing company specializing in one-to-one marketing with Market America and Shop.com. So we have the mall without walls, and it has university majors in it, where 10 to 15, depending on the country, major billion-dollar markets, we have a better consumable that more money was put in rather than advertising and everything, and a program to merchandise it, market it, so that little entrepreneur can have a business within a business at what they're good at and know people in, and make a great retail profit and a nice residual income. So we can focus on people's differences and what makes them good at something and leverage that rather than putting in something just for an opportunity that they're not good at. Does that make any sense? Okay, so there you go. We got the university with these major areas that cover almost everything, bringing people on board. And by the way, if you're in Modas, you should be finding somebody that's in Web Centers. If you're in TLS, you should be finding somebody in Nutrimetrics. Why? Not everybody's going to get in what you're getting in. And you don't have to do what they're doing, but you're going to get credit for what they do. Just smart. Okay, so that allows us greater scope, more people in the funnel, more income. And they all do what? Even though they may be doing different majors, they all do what? You got to live, it's a shopping annuity. So the great thing about our company, now listen, we are a marketing monster. We find whatever will move. So if something new comes on the market and it's going to be hot and market driven, we're going to reach out and suck up the volume because that's what we're made to do. You like that? Oh, it's running again. Okay. So we have millions of brands. We have 3,000 brands or items with Market America that are cost-effective, scientific, superior, and a great value, better value than what people are already buying. And that covers a large amount of their spending. But then we have everything else. And we're like a transformer. Markets come and go. Products and trends change all the time. But we're not going to be stuck in an area. We're going to be going always where the action is. Have we done that for the last 23 years, guys? Yes or no? Okay, so, I mean, look at this. In the UK, we're coming out with insurance. We're working on petrol and gas here. So you can use your card or your local program and go fill up the tank. You might have to fill it up, tap it off, and do so much per month, but you'll get a big discount. You're going to use it up anyway. Things like this, you know. What about the LED energy package? You don't want to save 25% or more on your electric bill every month? I put them in everything. You know, the credit card, PayPal, DNA, what a demonstration that was. But you see, we're always moving. 2 years ago, we didn't have a baby line. So where is the money being spent? We have it all. Do you understand that? Okay, so this shopping, now listen to this. Not only do we have all those products, and I don't know many other companies that do, but we have shop.com. Now, that sounds nice. Nice URL. I'm going to tell you something. This is a universal shopping cart with comparison shopping. You can't even comprehend how complicated it is to run one of these, for it to operate. Nobody else has it. Now, follow my thinking, okay? But this amazing technology that allows us to feature anybody's product in the world, our products, and sell them all around the world, one cart that can be dropped into, one credit card payment, track the volume, pay the vendor, credit the BV, the retail, the cash back. It is incredibly complicated. This isn't like buying a computer and some servers and putting up a website. Now, my point is, it's an incredibly valuable asset, and nobody else has it. Nobody in the industries we've been in. The only other one is Amazon, and they don't have any people power, so we got them licked because our site's as good or better than theirs, and they don't got people power. Am I making any sense? No. So, look, this is coming from a layman's point of view. When Michael and Gene see something like this, they really think we're dumb, because the engineering that has to go into this to make it work, to have either in Taiwan or Miami or Great Britain to log in, and boom, it's right up in milliseconds. And to change pages. Every inventory item, 50 million have to be updated every day, or you'd have the wrong products up there. Think about this for a minute. Who else is going to copy this? So, you know, MA products, extremely profitable up on the site. 50 million products, 3,000 MA products. Shop direct to name brand manufacturers. You know what that takes? So you used to go to the store to buy your TV, Target or whatever, because you like that. Now when you get on there, you can get it right from the manufacturer and save another 30%. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do want you to get the scope of it. You know, shop essentials, merchandising, and link to the shopping annuity. It's just going to get better and better. So when you do the assessment, you're linking right to this to find whatever you need, rather than have to look for it. Does that make any sense to you? How much work does that take? I mean, comparison shopping. So instead of going to a store and then another store and another store, going from website to website to website, it has everything up there at once to compare so you know you're getting the best price. I mean, what do these things take? You know, update the inventory, availability of products. You can't have somebody order a product and not be in stock. You realize the data transfers, the APIs and all that required to do that? Speed of infrastructure, incredibly important. To cache things. I mean, I look at these engineering reports of all the things that they consider in the load time to make this thing, you know, this thing be great, to be cutting edge, to be world class. It's mind-boggling. But we got it. Nobody else has this. You know? Security on credit cards. never a problem. But you know what it takes to implement that? You know, pay each vendor at the point of sale. They want to get paid as soon as the product sells. Make sure orders are delivered and received. What have you ordered? And the person, your customer says, well, I never got it. We got to be able to know where it is. Do you understand this? Real-time order status and tracking. We can know right where something is. What if you called up and we said, I ordered it last week. Oh, we don't know where it is. Call them. Pay the partners and vendors. Track orders and credit them to the right customer and UFO, your customer's order. You own the customer. We don't let it go to somebody else. And you want to make sure you got credit for it. And this is a big one. Accumulate orders in BV and IBV, auto ship program, handling credit card deadlines, declines and returns. What are we supposed to do? Just absorb the loss? Integrate with Shop Buddy. You think that just happens by blowing a whistle? Adobe customization, which you're just going to see take over. You know, every single person has a different presentation based on what they're interested in. Integration with the shopping annuity and assessment and My List, multiple countries. Hey, it's just not going on here. It has to be made compatible with even double bit, language in Taiwan. I'm trying to get you simply to appreciate that nobody else has this. Nobody. It's an atomic weapon. So, IT technology game changers of APIs. APIs lets you do things that you could never do before that would take you years to develop on your own. It allows you to interact with everybody else in the game, and it makes you sexy. People want to do business with you. I'm telling you. Talk to IT people. It's all about this. It's one of the things that made Amazon rise to the top. We got them. Who else got them? I don't think there's too many people out there that have what we have. I love these slides. I'm not going to spend time on them. But customizing the page, all the things that are going on with the web service calls and the APIs. And now, we open it up to open source to other people that can develop and give tools and use this powerful asset, this engine, to connect us with their business, with the things they want to sell. I mean, it's just amazing. A lot of bright people out there. Whoops, they can come up with stuff. Okay? So, the next thing. Now, do you agree that nobody else has that? Do you know another company that you can get in? We basically give you a turnkey system, like a shop.com in a box, or an Amazon.com in a box with all the technology, all the fulfillment, all the products, all the SEO, the SEM, the metrics, all the technology and engineering, which would cost me 30 to 50 million. I'm still trying to figure it out. For $129. Where else are you going to get that? And then, you don't have to buy product and go deliver it. You don't have to buy product and ship it. You don't have to go deliver stuff or have inventories in your house because we deal directly with the customer. And we track every order. And we have metrics and we know the history of that customer so we can recommend other great stuff. And it does Form 1000. We can prove to any regulator that this is a real deal. We're not based on inventories in people's homes or stores. When somebody tells you their volume, half of that volume was sold to stores and inventories sitting around that has not gotten to the end user. But our volume numbers are real because it's all gone to the end user, to the customer, who's beating the door down then for more. Now, what does that do? What does that do? I want you to think now. We track customers at viral speed, at the fastest speed, and as it virally spreads, we can measure what everybody's buying from every vendor and track it up to you to put together the data of who's buying from what vendor or store together with who bought it and who they led to do the shopping annuity. It's magic. It's never been done before. I mean, when Google came out, there was no search. When, after, what was the first one before Facebook? MyFace or whatever. There was no social media. Well, in the future, people will say, I remember when there was no shopping annuity. How did we live without it? Oh, man. Back office, state of back office. Who else? You realize how complicated our program is, technically? Because everybody's on a different clock. We don't flush the volume at the end of the month. Frank got paid, but you didn't get paid. It stays in there for you. Everything has to adjust and reset. You have to know what happened to the customers. Did I get my cash back? Where's my BV, my IBV? And you need to know it too, not just us, and have it right. You realize how complicated that is? Who else has a back office like us? Nobody else has this. Oh, they might have it on some little direct sales program, but that has no power. Nothing with this type of power has that. Are you getting this? Unfranchised service system. Now, I'll just give you a tidbit. I'm moving this to Puerto Rico. And we're going to live in Puerto Rico because it's part of the United States and it saves the company a huge amount in tax and me so that we can give you more. All the orders will start coming in there because what this business is really all about is not what's in Greensboro. That'll still be there and everything that goes on there will go on there. But I basically, by the seat of my pants from day one, have created this system, which I call the UnFranchise. You saw it grow up and develop. Everything that goes on is somewhere on this diagram. Think about it. Complaints, customer service, product information, NMTSS. How does all this stuff happen? Do you realize how many hundreds of things are integrated and have to happen in order for all of your customers and all of your UFOs to be happy and that residual income check be there every day? You think it just happens? Nobody has this. And we're responsive. We're on the edge, and we're all about it working for you, not for us. I'll say that again. We do all of this to support your businesses around the world so that residual income can still come in. It just doesn't happen, though. And that's it. Pretty amazing. Well, who else has that? We couldn't have a shopping annuity with unfranchised owners all over the world with customers and everything buying and then tracking the volume and converting their spending into earning if we didn't have that. Nobody else has it. Nobody else even has the NMTSS. Nobody else even trains their people right in each area. Why? They have the way of the month. The real reason why is they steal each other's people. And it's not uniform. And I don't want my person to go and be trained a different way and blow them out of the business. But ours is like a franchise. And it's self-funding, self-liquidating. When I used to build, I had to pay for all the meetings, ate up half my commission check. See, we take these things for granted. But nobody else has it. And that's why we're better. I mean, I'm sorry. Okay, let's talk about the guts. Let's go under the hood for a minute. 300, last I counted it was 294. I got past 300 and stopped because I was too busy with this other stuff. 300 other companies tried to copy our compensation tracking plan. They're all out of business. They couldn't do it. or the commission creeped, except for Yasana, that pays out 1/2 of what we pay out. Now, we have a AAA rating, an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we were awarded the Torch Award for the best customer service and handling of customer advocacy in the state. Who else has that? But I'm telling you, part of the reason is the math works. 100% credit for everything bought in the referral thread without dilution, and it accumulates until people hit paychecks. For those of you who don't understand that, if somebody in this row down here bought something, everybody gets 100% credit all the way down the line without dilution. Dilution means he gets 10, you get 9, you get 8, you get 7 until we run out of money. Genius algorithms and math to do this. And it works. On economies of scale of like you bought 1,000, you're getting a piece of the margin taken out and credited to you, and it stays there like money in the bank until you hit a level and get paid. It's not a question of if you'll get paid, it's a question of when you'll get paid. Who else has that? Come on. Nobody else has it. You can build an internet marketing, online e-commerce shopping business with Market America and web centers as big as Amazon, but have to handle the customers and merchandising in that, and the fulfillment and customer service, and it requires employees. All of a sudden, you were in an internet business and it succeeded, and you're in brick and mortar with employees and shipping and fulfillment. Well, Market America, you do it. You get a whole lot of customers. Smart thing to do is bring on another UnFranchise owner and let them handle the customers, because there's no dilution. You get 100% credit. They get the retail profit. That's what you would have had to pay an employee, and you make all the BV, IBV on it. And you could build $1 million business but not have the headaches and have freedom. Hey, come on. Affiliate marketing, can they do this? Who else has it? Using collective buying power to force prices down and increase BV and IBV. Now, let me tell you something right now. Watch my lips, learn something. If you've been saying we're like MLM, or we're MLM, or somebody tells you we're MLM, they're wrong. We are not. We have no levels, no horizontal fill. It's like total organic, like going to a movie or a club and people telling people, and it just tracks it. It's a tracking system. 2 reservoirs at the top of the mountain. The locks are opened up. The water flows the path of least resistance, just like your circle of friendship happened by accident. And we know that eventually it's going to hit the lake or the river and you're going to get paid. But it tracks that, just like going to the movies or anything else. So the important thing is this tracking system connects all customers to customers. Listen to this, guys. Imagine how complex this is. It's never happened before. They don't have it in an affiliate marketing. It's a $6.4 billion business. You get one order, get paid, it's over. The customer goes somewhere else. Here you own the customer. If they buy something in New Jersey and move to England and buy it again there, you still get credit. That don't happen in affiliate marketing or any internet marketing. They go to Hong Kong and get married, you still get the order. You go to Mexico, they get divorced, and they tracks both of them. And you own the whole customer network, not just on the one order, but on everything. Who else has it? Nobody. I got to get worked up because I know that you don't really know this. So what we are is a tracking system. Affiliates wish they could have this. We're more like an affiliate program than we are What do they call that? Make less money? Okay. So, here's your homework. You need to know why we are different, better, and mathematically optimized and sound. We figured out the most that can possibly be made mathematically on a progression of developing distribution or a market. And you don't even have to handle the product. You need to understand it. How do we compare to other things? Can you answer that question? Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're not multi-levelers, sign-uppers. We're professionals. We're UnFranchise owner professionals in the internet marketing business. Now, if you're a professional, you got to know what you're doing. You go to a doctor or a lawyer or accountant, they got to know what they're doing, and they got to stay up with stuff and study. You can't answer these questions. I'm sorry. It's not fair to you, your organization, or the people you're dealing with. Because nobody's got this, and you want to know about it. Okay. I'm getting carried away here. Market America shopping annuity, the answer, the solution, because they want to keep us apart and separate so they can charge us whatever we want. And there's no way to use your collective buying power to force prices down and get a piece of the margin and develop it into our, feed it into our tracking system, people leading to people to get a residual income, turning spent money into money in the bank, earning money for you. Economic alchemy. We have it because of all these things. Oh, come on. Okay. Man, what about Amazon? First of all, they put products up there that are most profitable to you and not the best deal for you. Look it up. It's in Google. I mean, you can check it out. You have to call up. You can't even call up there. You have to send an email. They don't have any people power. So to do what I talk about with the shopping annuity, to change the world, to change the economics at the grassroots level, to stop the big-time establishment, mass marketers, from taking advantage of us and charging the highest price ever, which is the Joe Schmo price. Oh, whoa, whoa, what's the UnFranchise owner price? 20% less. And you get X amount of BV and IBV in your bank account and on everybody that it leads to. Oh, man, come on. So we have the missing ingredient. Even if you had all this technology, you don't have the army of believers, of disciples, of entrepreneurs that are engaged and trained, that have the customers to take this to the world. And we do. And that's why we can get rich together. I mean, you know, guys, maybe it'll hit you on the way home. Okay? And I went over it. I mean, this is reality. Did you understand this the other day, or were you asleep or too tired? That I'm talking about reality here. I'm not in La La Land. I'm talking about a real problem, a real economic disparity between what can be done and what is being done. And there was no way to change it before, but now there is. There was no way to search on the internet any term or anything that you wanted 20 years ago. Well, there was no way to do this 5 years ago. Now there is, and it's us. You just happen to be at the right place at the right time with the right people. So they want to keep us apart. Are you going to let them keep us apart? We're already connected. All you have to do is use it. I mean, you do understand this, right? I'm not going to go over it again. But back this up with one other fact, one other concept. Do you get it that we have it, that we have what it takes to create a new economic model, a paradigm shifting concept using digital tracking in a digital age to beat the establishment, to beat mass marketing and put the money that's going in their pockets into your pockets. Do you understand that? So everybody wants a nest egg, right? Everybody. The person who will tell you they don't want to make more money or they don't want to be more financially secure will lie to you about something else. Okay. Everybody that you know, everybody, would you agree with this? That you know, and everybody that they know, and everybody that's in the business, and all of your relatives wish that they could have a nest egg. Why don't they? Well, you need discretionary income. And the way the mass marketing model works is they will charge as much as they can, and they come out with more and more gadgets until you have no money left. And the checkbook runs out before the end of the month runs out before the checkbook runs out before the end of the month. How many people have experienced that? And always something comes up. Car breaks down, new tire, whatever, new gadget, I have to have it or I can't communicate anymore. It's funny how, technology and hard goods now become consumable goods like soap. You got to buy them every 1 to 3 months because they change, right? So all our money's used up and everybody's broke. So they don't have any money to invest. So what's the use of even discussing it? But they got to live, they got to spend, and every dime of it's being spent and disappearing. Gone! Gone! Oh, I don't know if I spend that much. How much you got in your bank account? You made $80,000 last year, and you got nothing in your bank account? Let me see your credit card bills. They went way up. You're going backwards, bro. It's spent. It's gone. It doesn't matter. But now, the money they spent is in the bank for them, in the machine, earning them more interest, more money than they could ever make in another financial instrument, other than some stocks. But if you know who's running that, it's definitely being manipulated. It's definitely a very volatile market, and you better watch it like a hawk or you might lose it. I learned a long time ago, it's a lot easier to make money than it is to keep it. So what's the chances of that happening? But you don't have the money anyway, so why even discuss it? But if you did have it, be careful. And you still are spending. It's funny how people in our business make a lot of money, and you would think that they would have a lot of money saved. I learned a long time ago that when you make a lot of money, you just become broke at a higher level. It's funny how it goes up. Do you agree with that? So all I'm trying to say here is everybody, regardless, can have a nest egg. They can build up a residual income from something that they're already doing, spending. It just takes a little behavior time. It takes some time to set it up. So you do it once, you set it up once. Maybe it takes an hour, 3 hours, a week, it doesn't matter. It works continuously forever, and you have money coming in, not only from you, but if it worked for you, you're going to tell other people about it, and the thing spreads virally. Have we proven that? Am I making this up? So the plan, the business, ladies and gentlemen, has become the shopping annuity. It always was, but we didn't have the engine parts to put it together, to drive it. And if you're going to be in business, folks, you want to make sure that you are in a paradigm-shifting trend that's relevant to everybody. Our market's unlimited because everybody has this problem. Do you agree with that? I mean, wow. So it's the plan. So the binomial and unfranchised advantage. I got to start moving along. This is your homework assignment. If you don't watch this, you don't want to be a professional. You're along for the ride. You're a player. Okay, fine. Have fun. Make some money. But you're not a real pro. And your people like to have a pro as a senior partner. But let me give you some facts. I need to educate. I'm going to kind of hitchhike on what Arlene Lowy did the other day. But I'm going to talk from, I got 30 years in this industry, was at the top of 3 different companies as a distributor. I was a consultant for numerous companies, a regulatory consultant that kind of bridged the gap, or was a liaison between the owners of the company, the regulators, and the lawyers to get them to see eye to eye. I sat on the board of directors of the DSA 2 times, and I made hundreds of millions of dollars in this business. I think I know what I'm talking about. Do you? I'm not bragging or trying to, pat myself on the back. I just know what I know. So, why this company was founded was because I couldn't, in good conscience, keep bringing people in to the thing I came from. And the read up about something going on in the church, they get absorbed by other things. Fine, that's great, that's life. Right? But maybe it affected you. It has nothing to do with opportunity. And now you're in debt. People also do wrong things. Anything that happens in the world, people say, why do people do this? I don't know why people commit rape. I don't know why they steal. I don't know why they adultery. I don't know why they do anything. I just know that I ain't doing it. But they do it. But we have a responsibility to protect your business. So when they get to this point where they're having a problem, they may have been involved in NMTSS and cheated somebody on money. It happens. They may have taken the ticket money and did something with it, and their team doesn't like it, and they get out of grace, and nobody wants them to speak anymore, and they were making 100, 200 grand from that. And now their ego's hurt. It has nothing to do with the business. We had 28 new directors, 18,000 in income for 3 months in a row. We're growing. I don't know what's wrong with you. You get this? Are you understanding this? So they're not growing. Things went down. People don't like them anymore, and they go wayward. They wander. We all, people wander, right? Listen, when you're working a corporation, ask Mark. You got headhunters calling every day trying to steal your people. It happens in everything, in churches, in sports, and it happens here. So somebody's in that position, and they say, look, because they're wandering. They get involved with the wrong people, they tell them, look, we'll pay you 100 grand to come with us. We'll put legs under you, we'll pay your expenses, but you got to go raid their organization and bring them over. That's why they do it. They sold out as a traitor. They sold out of the family. Immoral. Why? I don't have any problem with competition. Go do whatever you want. I love to see people be entrepreneurial. Why don't you do something different? But you couldn't even sponsor one more leg here. And you would have made more money because they can't hold a candle to us mathematically. You can't make more money there no matter what you do, how much business you have. So you put one more leg in here. But they can't do that. But see, now they're offered a signing bonus, and they look around. Say, wow, look at all these beautiful, juicy people. They're so smart, they're so dedicated, they're so passionate, they're so well trained, and they know me, and I'm a star. I have credibility. I can't make any money of them here, but if I could take them into the other deal, even though it's less profitable, I could make a lot more money. Greed. Why do people rob banks? I have no idea. You understanding this? So that's what they do. Now, if the fox is in the hen house, or the robbers in your neighborhood or in your house, if you don't stand up and speak up and do something about it, it's your own fault. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And so yeah, this is a business. I'm talking to you about a situation because we're partners. And you invested your life in this. And I know how hard it is to build a leg. Months, years, and no telling how many people you went through to find that person. And have somebody that got their credibility from what we do here go after them and try to take them to something else. We can do our part, and we do the legal part. But you got to do your part. You got to educate your people because they can't make more money there any way you slice it. You understand that? Impossible. But they couldn't sponsor a leg here because they stopped doing it a while ago. And they got mentally constipated or they have some types of problems and greed took over. What else do you call it? I can't do it here with one leg and make more money, but all the people I know, I'm going to take them to something else. So we have to protect against that because it's a reality. It's a phenomenon that's going on today. It's a virus. It's a cancer. If you get a cancer, you better do something about it and be looking for it before it gets you and you start to feel it and it's going to take you down. You got to get it early. So you got to go to the bottom of the legs and you got to take care of it. I think I've done enough on that. You know, that's why they do it though. So my beef is the ethics. My beef is the integrity. My beef is we were your best friend. You made 250, 300 grand for 15, 20 years. And you sell out? That's fine. But you're not going after my children. Okay? That's it. And you got to be the same way. You got to be the same way. You know, stand up for yourself. They don't work anyway. You have to get this. I can't do it all here. I'm running out of time. You got to get this. It's online. Take a picture of it with your phone so you can tag in. You need to have, as a professional, the handbook on this, why it happens, how to handle it, and that with multi-level, what do you call it, the manifesto on the UnFranchise and binomial system. It explains the math and why this works better, other things out there, and what the comparative analysis is. So what you do with it when this happens, listen. We had the truth on our side. Know ye the truth shall set you free. You don't know what you don't know. You don't even know that you don't know it. That's your people. You simply got to give them the truth, the comparison, the facts, and it's done. Otherwise, you didn't inoculate them against the virus, the deadly virus. And that's all it takes. How do you like that? You know, these things are all over the place. They're all out there. This is all in the manual, and you should learn about it. Why we are different. What are the dynamics here? Why does it work better? Why are we the only one that got it? You see? Now, I'm going to click through these. I had good intentions, but I got carried away. Now, that's amazing. Here's the biggest thing, these programs. One person doesn't do it. They show big numbers. One person doesn't do it. It creates what we call Swiss cheese, a big hole below. They try to multiply out numbers on the board and show a lot of money. The thing is, in reality, if one person doesn't do it, you got to get 3 in under them, and then 3 under them, and 3, and so it falls apart. Our program, is that up there? I guess they're not showing. It's like it follows wherever people connect to find the volume to infinity. It doesn't matter. So it always maximizes the profit. Is this clock the final time at the end or when I begin my other show? Huh? I got some time, but can somebody come out and tell me that? It's like the Johnny Carson show. Oh my God, he's dead. Okay, so hey guys, let me just hit on one other thing. We all appreciate that MTSS, right? And it's a uniform standard program where everything's supposed to be done the same way, right? And we need to enforce that. And we need, everybody has great ideas, but we have to make sure that we all agree how things are going to be done. Now look, the NMTSS has gotten a little unraveled, and it's really set up as an accordion to change with the areas. And, it's not anybody's fault. Everybody that's run it has had the same thing. Things are changing. Times change, people change, areas change. And sometimes you have to get back together. So we're going to do what we used to do 5 years ago and have an NMTSS conference with all of the regionals and then with all of the district or locals and get everybody on the same page, and anything that's broken, fix it. So we're all for one and one for all. You up for that? You might have to come to Puerto Rico. I don't know. So we'll be announcing that. But look, if you go to a McDonald's, you expect to get McDonald's service. You know how it works, right? The drive-through window, you know what to do when you go in there, and you know what the menu is. So if you go into California, you go to Miami or anywhere, it's always the same. Well, what if you went in, okay, you know the menu, you went in, and it was a pink one. And what is this stuff? This is McDonald's? Yeah, it's like you. I'm an unfranchised owner for this area, but you got a different program, a different training, a different way of the week. Oh, there's a McDonald's fry. What are those? Spring rolls. Must be Flushing. They do it the right way, though. They do it the right way. Well, you see, you can always say, our people in this area prefer this, yeah. But then it stops being an unfranchised. Watch this. Starbucks. You know how you go in, you make your order, you go to the end of the counter, they deliver it to you. But in this one, what would happen if you went there and you had to sit down and they brought it to you? And you didn't know that. You were standing over there and somebody else got it. And you know what the menu is. I like Frappuccino. Okay, so I expect it to be there. But you say, you have your own ideas, and somebody else in another area has their own ideas. And I go in, I said, where's the Frappuccino? They say, no, we only have Crappuccino. And we have no espresso, but we got depresso. Okay, that's what happens. It gets unraveled. You don't want that, do you? You don't want it to change. So we got to get together on it. So listen, I have a really cool experience. Two things. Several years ago, I don't remember, we brought the COO of McDonald's on stage because he was getting ready to leave and he was thinking about doing some things with us. And he made a speech, but he told me their biggest problem is keeping things consistent. Because everybody has ideas, and they say, my area is different. So they have to be real strict about it and teach people why it can't be that way. But they field the ideas, and they do make slightly different changes for different regions based on the culture and whatnot, but not until they get consensus. And if we're going to do it that way, everybody has to do it that way. Does this make sense? Because if everybody does it a different way, it's no longer a franchise. You defeated the purpose. They don't even recognize the menu, and you spent millions on that advertising or branding. Is this making sense to you? Do you hear it? So, I got this place in Puerto Rico while we were building a house. We own a penthouse, and a founder or CEO of Starbucks rents it out. So I got in a conversation and said, what do you do in different areas of the world or different markets when they're a little different and your franchise owners want to do it differently? He says, well, first of all, they can't do it differently. But we listen. And if enough people have that idea, we get together and then we test it. And if it works and test it, we all do it. And he says it's a very tedious, stressful process, but we do it. Isn't that interesting? That's exactly the same thing that we're confronted with. And we got to keep the NMTSS strong. Look, you're an entrepreneur, you're going to get beat up. It's a challenge in the world. You don't want to put your money, your energy, your effort, and your time. And by the way, I used to want to borrow money. I have all the money that I need. I don't need to borrow money. I might borrow money when it's at 1%. But what I want is time. And I can't borrow time. It's much more valuable than money. So when people rate our organization, and it takes me a lot of time to go down that organization in Lauren to save the people. I'm not chasing BV. I'm chasing the people and their belief and what happens to them. I get pissed off. They're stealing my time, you know? But you're putting out time. I already agreed that we're partners, and you're investing your life in this. And I want it to pay off. So you better make sure that you're at the right place, right time, with the right opportunities, the right markets, the right tools. And I'm here to submit to you, I believe that we've done everything possible to make that a reality for you, and it is a reality. You just need to take advantage of it because we have all the things that the world is looking for. Isn't that true? Don't forget to do your homework and look at The Big Short and Inside Job. That's the first time I've ever told people to go watch a movie from the stage so that you know who we're fighting and that we need our own economy. So why do people look for failure? You know, isn't it funny? Somebody fails out of Harvard, they failed. They don't say Harvard didn't work. Somebody doesn't make the football team, they got cut. Right? Somebody gets fired from Apple. Oh, they got fired. They don't say Apple doesn't work. Why then, when one person doesn't make it in Market America, they say, oh, that must not work? Huh? It's the craziest thing I ever heard. So you need to set them straight. Market America works if you work it. And you got to make the grade. And you got to make the team. And you just didn't make the cut. Sorry, buddy. Some people just need a new brain. I mean, their gears have gotten stuck. And they've been getting a residual income for a long time and their gears aren't moving. But when you're into shopping annuity, this is the way it works. You see that? Everything's a possible deal. Everything is popping, okay? So we all have alternatives. What are you going to do? You're going to go back to school? You know, isn't it funny? A kid goes to school for 4 years, and I'm all for education. They get out, they owe 200 grand and no job. But if they did the 2 to 3 year plan with UnFranchise for 2 to 3 years and went to our university and learned the business, they would walk out with no debt and a job and a residual income of 200 grand. You want to go buy a business? Why would you want to buy an expensive job? What are the alternatives? You know all the things you got to do and take care of? 500 grand, 10 times the net. I mean, 5 times the net if you want to have a brick and mortar type of business, hey, and get married to it. Well, you know, I was going to go to the graveyard, but it ain't here. The honest to God truth is, Lauren was talking about dating. I used to take her to the graveyard to make a point that we only have a little time here. And I'm in a hurry. We got to make time count. And each day is the next day of the rest of our lives. And we can't let it slip by. We can't let people steal it from us. And we got to make sure that we use everything within our power to find the best things to use our time for so that we can be free and so that we can affect other people positively. Let's go. So we would go to the graveyard and walk up and down. We actually did this. You know, try to find one that we like. We go up to it and say, hey, Bob and Mary. Wow, you know, you didn't get to meet us before, but we have this incredible program that can give you residual income and allow you to live everything that you want to do in your life and have fun and help your kids and help other people become financially independent. Man, we can have it all. We can make an impact on the world. We can have the shopping annuity and help everybody convert their spending into earning, man. We can change the economy. We can do it all. We can be important. We can be valuable. We can be purposeful. And we can have fun and live the life of our dreams. Get up, get up. They just lay there, dead. Too late. It's not too late for you, though. And you know, the funny thing about that gravestone, and everybody will have one eventually here, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. The day will come when your number is called. You do know that? I don't know anybody that got out of life alive. We hate to see them go, but nobody lasts forever. Not on this earth. Your number came up. You didn't do anything wrong. You're busy. You have people to see, things to do. Your number came up. What are you going to do? You call your good friend, George. Hey, George, man. We've been friends our whole life. My number came up. I got to go tomorrow. I got a lot of things to do. I mean, I'm halfway through helping some people make some money, and my kids are doing this. And we've been friends forever. I've done a lot for you. Will you take my place? Is he going to take your place? He's not going to die for you, is he? So see, my advice is this. So many of you are so worried about what your friends think. Now that it's time to live, don't let them live for you either. Because you can do this. You can do this. I mean, you know, we set out to change an industry, and we ended up creating one. Because we didn't let those type of people influence us. You know, you get into this business, and people across the street are watching you. So look at them going in and out of their house every day. You see her, she went out at 8 o'clock last night, all dressed up and dolled up. It must be in something illegal. Must be doing something. They're so concerned about your life, right? Oh, look at that. They got a new car. You see those boxes going in and out of the house all day long? I wonder what that is. Oh, look at this, a postcard from Saint-Tropez. Show-offs. Oh my God, they're moving. Look, their house got sold. So worried about your life. See, don't you let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you. You take control of your life and move out of that neighborhood. Surround yourself by the people you belong. You don't need to be subjected to that anymore. You know, your job, tell me about your job. Is their why aligned with your why? Or don't they give a darn about you? You get blamed for everything that goes wrong and no credit for anything that goes right. But you put up with it. And then you complain about what you got to do in Market America. That's crazy. This is your freedom. This is your ticket. Well, you know, I wanted to do it, but I just don't have any time. What do you mean you don't have any time? You got 24 hours a day. You sleep 1/3 of the day, 1/3 of your life away. You watch television. Problem is that you don't want anything badly enough. You don't have any time. You need to do this so that you do have time. Well, you know, I just don't know any people. What? I don't know anybody who would want to do this. You don't know anybody? No, you know. You know how they go? I said, okay, what are you going to do when you die? Because it takes 6 people to carry you to the graveyard. And a lawyer and a minister. You're going to lay there and rot? Look, buddy, if it takes 6 people to die, you can find 2 people to live. You know? Well, but you don't understand. My wife, she's negative. She's just always against it, criticizing me like Lauren was talking about. Always questioning, you know, nagging. She doesn't believe in it or want me to do it. And she's negative. I said, okay, let me tell you something about your wife. She's not negative. She's positive. She's positive you've been an idiot and fool your whole life. And if you would show her a little green stuff, her attitude would change very quickly. And after you do that with love and grace, and she still is against you, get rid of her. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not the one to make excuses to. You know, I was going to tell you what a dimmer rip is. You know, people say, is this a pyramid? Say, no, it's a dimmer rip. A dimmerite. Because a dimmer, I'm putting it actually in, what do you call that thing? Wikipedia. Because it's the opposite of a pyramid. It's an anti-pyramid. It works exactly the opposite. See, it's the words put backwards. I mean, I don't know why they call things pyramids, like a company's a pyramid, the government's a pyramid, but they're not a pyramid at all. They're not 3-dimensional, they're a triangle. But when you understand this, the way our plan works, it's the reverse of a pyramid. Because the people that make big money have to go to the bottom to make it. And all the volume comes from the bottom up. So the people that are making the most money put the money down at the bottom so that everybody else makes money. And it reverses everything. And I mean, there's 15 things in here that make it an anti-opposite antithesis of a pyramid. And I'll send this out to you in my blog so that you can use it. But you know, the more volume people at the top or higher up put at the bottom, the more people make money at the bottom. People at the top work at the bottom. These people, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Everything in it reverses what happens in a pyramid type of program. Okay. Oh. It's networking. Is this like networking? You gotta get people in? Well, I saw that it wasn't a pyramid. Now it's networking, right? I said, what is wrong with networking? Name me a business. Law. They network all the time. That's how they get all their clients. That's how they get their lawyers. Name me another one. Music. Oh, that's all networking. Name another one. Landscaping. Okay? Well, that's all networking. You have to network with other landscapers, with equipment suppliers. You got to, you got to network with the customers to get other customers. Everything in business has networking in it. You want to know what the difference is here? You don't get paid for it in hardly any of those. We just happen to have a better way of doing it. that pays you a residual income for doing it, and everybody wins. What do you got to say about that, buddy? You know? Well, get me to where I'm supposed to be at this point. Bottom line is we got to get off the treadmill, right? We got to get off the treadmill. Nobody ever came out and answered my question. I'm worried about running over because I promised myself I wouldn't put you through 3 hours today. Yay! But truly, will somebody come out and tell me the answer? Okay. Okay. So listen, everybody in here, I can remember many times. Yeah. Time for the skit. Right now? Am I behind? You lying? No. Okay. So, listen, guys. Everybody has a day where they almost quit. I have them too. Well, almost, Frank. Almost. Where you reach a point of frustration where you question yourself, why am I doing this? Now, Frank is pretty tough. You know his background. I'm pretty tough. Dennis is pretty tough. Fat Joe's pretty tough. I don't know how tough you are. If it ever gets to that point, do yourself a favor. Remember this. Tie a knot at the end of the rope and just hang on. Hang on, because it'll change. But if you quit, it's done forever. But you're already in pain anyway. So just hang on, because something will replace the pain. And eventually it'll be success. So tie that knot. And remember Winston Churchill's greatest speech in the world, because it was only 5 words in front of Parliament as the world came together after World War II. And the little bulldog made his way up to the podium and glared out across the crowd. They were expecting an hour dissertation like me, not 3 hours. And he glared across the crowd, saving the free world, keeping them going through all those years. Never, 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 never give up. So, okay, so I want to help you out here. I want to help you out. We're going to have a little fun in a minute. Listen, so, you know, if I know the mind can only absorb what the rear end can endure. You're going to be jumping up and having a little fun, and we'll be out of here soon, don't worry. I want to talk about the keys to success. You know, everyone that succeeds and trains has keys. Elizabeth has keys, Frank has keys, Big Al has keys, Tony and Pam have keys. You know, everybody has keys to success. Would you agree with that? Huh? And everybody wants to know, what is the key? Well, it all comes down to the basic 5. From that first time I did it, because Dennis filled a room with 500 people, and I said, this ain't going to work. I said, what do you mean I have 500 people? So yeah, we can't follow up. We, you know, can't do the ABC pattern. They're all going to be gone tomorrow. Now, most people in Dennis' stature wouldn't listen. But it didn't work, and he listened. And Kevin came out of that. B level. B level. I don't know why I'm getting off on that. But the thing is, the basic 5 goes way back to that seminar, you know, the first time before we had anything in a, you know, a country club around a kitchen table. I think that audio still exists somewhere historically. So isn't it funny? You know, I didn't make up base 10, 7 strong, because the basic 5 is how you do it. But you're not going to do how you do it, which is the basic 5, if you don't have a why to do it. But Dennis gave the what it does. Why? You have to have that reason. You got to want to build an organization. What? You do the basic 5. I mean, how? You do the basic 5. What? It ends up being the base 10, 7 strong. That's the result. Everybody follow that? And it works. So everyone has their keys or bells or whistles to the basic 5, their little versions. And that's okay. You know, different strokes for different folks, different ways on different days, different places for different faces. You know? As long as it doesn't change the fundamentals. It's like Vince Lombardi said. Show me a playbook, show me a fancy play, show me, you know, your tricks. It all comes down in the end. The team that's going to win is a team that's best at the fundamentals of blocking and tackling. And that all plays a role. But if you're not doing the fundamentals, all this stuff is irrelevant, because you still got to build an organization. Now, I build all the time. And I look at what I do and my result. Now, remember something. I don't know what you think of me. I don't know you all personally. A lot of you I've never touched. I built with a lot of people, though. And I still build. Hey, Aiden. I love you. I still build. I look at leaders in the eyes. I say, I know that you're working hard and you build. I know that you do it. Look at me. I do more than you. I'm still doing it. Still holding the meetings. Still doing the follow-up. Still, and I have to do it right every time. I have to do it perfect every time, because I don't want to do it over. And it has to duplicate. So I make sure I do it right so that it duplicates. Is this making any sense to you? So what I'm concerned about is not the guys that are trying hard. I mean, that aren't trying. Not the guys that are putting a little bit in once in a while and you know, they do it, they're along for the ride, they believe, timing isn't quite right, they have other things in the way, they're nice people, they enjoy the products, they make a little money, and they're having fun, and it's a wonderful group of people to be with. That's great, that's a good enough reason, right? That's over 1/2 of the people. And it's a great thing to be involved in. And it helps your health, or, you know, and you save money, and you do the shopping annuity. You save $9 grand a year. Start buying stuff, 15 grand a year. You make a little money. You meet a lot of really cool people, forward-looking, positive people. You belong to a family. There's a lot of great reasons. But what I worry about is a person who's busting their rear end, that really wants to make it. And they're doing everything within their power. And they hurt. They want it so bad it hurts. What are they doing differently than I do? So that's what I look for. So when you get in this business and you start going to seminars seeking the answer, it's always a basic 5. You listen to me? But Charlie has a key. The one key in the basic 5 that I know that you don't is this one. And the next day, okay, Jim has a key. Andrew has a key. Dennis has a key. Frank has a key. Everybody has a key. They're all part of the basic 5. But Tony says, this is the key. You need to be nice to people. Because you don't know if they're going to get in now, but if you're nice to them, they'll like you and they'll get in later. And some people are in something else, and you're not going to get them in. So you might as well tell them that we should at least stay friends and stay in contact, because something's going to happen to one of us. I don't think it's going to be me, but if it's you, you're going to be okay. I listen to what you say, Tony. Huh? So, after a year or two in the business, you're walking around with all these keys. Man, I got the keys to the business. I don't know which one to use on what, but I got all the keys. People say, look at that guy with all them keys. What do you get all them keys for? Because I got the UnFranchise keys. Does this sound familiar? Okay. Look, all these keys can help, but you can't use them all at once. And the basic 5 is so basic that you don't need all those keys. You just need to do the basic 5. You don't need to find small little things. You just do it your way, the best way you can, and follow the system. But there are some little keys that make a big difference. And I can't find where I put them. There they are. Okay. So you're working the business really hard. I feel for that person, don't you? Man, I want to see them hit levels. I want to see them grow. I'll do anything to help them because that's what it's all about for me. I'm not doing this for money, just so you know. I made plenty already. I don't care about the money. The money is just a measurement of how many people love the products and how many people got a residual income. It's the scoreboard in the basketball game. That's it. I like to run up the score. So I got these little keys. These are the keys that I do consistently that make money. I'm doing the basic 5, but I have this little key that you don't have. So you and I do the same thing, the same meetings, same time, same driving, same happiness, same agony. The difference is I got the money. I got the key, the little key. Okay? So, where's the sticker thing go? The difference between success and failure is make sure nobody steals that behind my back. The difference between success and failure is that the person who succeeds does what the person who fails did not do, period. Don't matter that you did all that other stuff. You aren't doing something that I did, and you should want to know it, okay? So I'm not concerned about the guys that are growing, and I'm not concerned about the guys that aren't doing anything because they can solve that themselves. Let's do more, right? They need to find their why. They need to find their why, then they'll do more. But when somebody's not hitting it, I asked them, how long have you been in? They said, I've been in for 2 years. When did you get in? He said, I got in such and such date, which is 2 years before. I said, well, you know, it'd be different if you weren't in my line of sponsorship and I wasn't working the leg, but I am. And I know that you've only been in for 87 days. He says, well, how do you know that? Because you only did the fundamental activities 87 days. Because you were away here, you had this school thing, you had this wedding thing, and that's all fine. But you're cheating yourself. You have the date you signed up is not how long you've been in. You did the business for 87 days. And that's good. But now, we got to make it count. But what I don't want you to do is beat yourself up and say, I've been in for 3 years. You're not in 3 years if you didn't do it every day for 3 years. Does that make sense? You signed up 3 years ago. There's a big difference. Do you agree? Okay. Here's the 5 little things that I do. We all know that the basic 5 is simply develop the right attitude and knowledge. We're always doing that. If you're not listening to audio every day, you know all the things. You're not doing it. And believe me, that's why I'm better than you. I listen to audio every day. You don't want to get in any badmouth contest with me. I'm strong. I stole a lot of material. I got a lot of cool stuff to whoop on you and your people. But I didn't get it by osmosis. I listen to audios every day. I'm the biggest thief in the world. I steal everybody's material because originality is concealing your source. Goal, why, and a goal statement. You know this, right? You got a goal statement? What's your why? Well, let's do a dream board if you're really into it. Da-da-da-da-da. Prospecting and sponsoring. Talk about that all day long. I'm going to hit on it anyway. Fill the funnel, shake the bean jar, prime the pumps, right? Retailing and shopping annuity assessment. Well, I hope you got this out of it. If you go and sell one product, only 10 to 15% of the people ever get a second sale. So you spend an hour trying to get them to buy another product, and sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. True or false? But if you sit down for an hour and sell them the shopping annuity, they buy everything. Take that one home. It'll catch you on the way back. Really? And you have a higher probability of selling that than you do the extra product that you were trying to get them to get. Because it's a cause. It's a system. It benefits them. You're on their side. You're doing them a favor. Everybody understand all this? If you don't agree with it, one of us got to be wrong, and it isn't me. And you know why I can say that? I've really thought it through. I've really done it. I've experienced it. I've tested it. I see what other people are doing. I know. I know. So at any rate, retailing. Okay, so here's what it comes down to. The 5 little keys. Where are they here? I guess I lost it. Okay, that's the basic 5. Okay, here's my little keys. Okay? First thing I ask a person is, you're a national supervising coordinator and you want to grow again. What were you doing when you were growing 12 years ago that you're no longer doing? Because there's something. Now, I'm not going to beat you up about that, but I would dig for it. It could be as simple as Ben Ginder buying 100 tickets and what that impacted. Now, I know the guy worked hard, and I know how he recruits. Maybe he's still doing that, but not buying the tickets, as an example. And I'm not saying that that's Ben. Ben's he's been born again. He's had a renaissance here. I think he's going to set some records. But you get my point? Because here's the 4 little keys. First of all, with every person that I engage with, as I become their friend and their mentor and their coach and get it started, I find out their why. And I don't do it a little bit. They have to have a why. And I nail it down. We nail it down. Listen to this. These are little things, the basic 5 you're doing, or everybody knows that. These are little things that I find that people don't do that I do. So I nail that why now. I'm all about it. And they like it because I'm interested in them and what they want. I say, do you know you can find out about this here? We should go see that house. Okay. So I nail it down, and that results in a dream board, a goal, okay? What UFO level in the business do you have to hit to have that income? If they don't know, they'll never hit the pin. Or the why isn't connected to building the business. How many people heard that? Strategy. Everybody should have a strategy and know exactly how they're going to get to the pin level. Exactly. If you don't know, it ain't going to happen. I know. I've done this too long. You know? And what are the steps to that goal? Daily, weekly, and monthly. Because if we don't do the daily task, we'll never hit the weekly. The week went by, we didn't do the daily, nothing got done. Same thing with the month. Simple key, right? It's not goal setting, it's the why. And then using the why to motivate them to figure it out. Second little key. When you got into business, there was an agreement, not the distributor agreement, an agreement with all of us. And it was called the 2 to 3 year plan. That if you would do certain things with this proven plan and commit 12 to 18 hours, what is it? What do we say? 8 to 12? Yeah, they weakened it down. You know, that's what they normally do. I'm joking. I used to say 12 to 18. So if you put that time in, okay, and do certain result-producing activities, by the end of 2 to 3 years, you'll be making 6 figures. Isn't that the deal? So there's a getting started guide that defines those things. And one of them says, make a list of 100 people. The average person knows 300. Make a list of 100 of the most accessible people. You'll invite 20 of them to the first meeting, and over the next year, you agree to call all of those people 2 per week. So 2 per week times 52 weeks is 104, correct? Well, you can send 4 back, you're over. You can return 4. Ha ha ha. Okay. So here's what happens. You get in, or your person gets in, they invite 20 people. Just like the thing says. They made a list of 100. At that first meeting, somebody, Big Al, showing a plan, and he whoops it on them. They're really excited, and they get in. And they sign up. And they have a trial run, just like you're supposed to be. Trial run, right? They get some people there, and they sponsor 2. And they say, I got my 2. I activated. I say, oh no, it's over. That's like having a race car, wheeling out, you know, at the gun and stalling in the first lap. We just began. It said 2 a week. Listen to this. Almost everybody in here is violating the contract. You want to know where it is? There's the money. There's the key. You ain't got it. I'm telling you. 2 a week call. I mean, you drive to work, that's more than calling 2 people. That takes a lot of work to drive to work. 2 a day. How much does that take? You don't do it. You already got your 2. Okay. It's hardly anything, isn't it? You use Jim Winkler's call workshop, you use Elizabeth's 3-way calling. All those things greatly increase the success. I don't know what I did with them, but that's a key. That's another key to recruiting. Sure, but this key, it don't matter if you have a call workshop or not. It don't matter if you do 3-way calls or not. You got this key? There's a lot of people who are doing those things, but they ain't got this. It's in this box. So I'll put it back in there. You don't want it. 2 per week. That's all. For 52 weeks is 104 people. The worst person at the business who irritates people, can't communicate, is rough around the edges, will get at least 8 by accident. I know because I've been doing this a long time. 8. And if you're doing it with them, they'll get more. So that's 4 in the left, 4 in the right. Right? Now the problem with you not doing it is that they end up duplicating you. Or them not doing it. Their group duplicates them. So everybody gets 2 and stops. Somebody has some problem or gets absorbed with something, and the leg that was growing atrophies in volume. And everybody's depressed. What if you were doing 2 a week? And everybody got 2 a week. That's 4 and 4. I put them down on below the people and work with them. And by the end of the year, if that repeats 4 times over a year, there'll be 2,058 people in the group. And that group will be earning every week in scoring. Do you do that? Little key, I know you're recruiting. I'm doing the basic 5. I recruit. I got my list. I did a call workshop. You ain't got my little key. Huh. Guess what? Still works. I got the money. I mean, you know, I hope I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm trying to help you because it pains me when people work the business and don't score. Okay? The next one. I do this all the time. Get in there. Oh, man. So, key 3. Every time you hold a meeting, the test is, did you get a follow-up? That means book that night before you leave, in your book, in their house or your house or somewhere. Now, football's on our mind, right? That's a first down. You have the ball, you did a meeting, you did the recruiting, you got a first down. If you don't get the follow-up, you lost the ball in 4 downs. It's a turnover. Now you're way behind, right? You're not making any progress. Do you understand that? So you either did or you didn't. Oh, I do meetings, I did this. Did you get the follow? Let me see it in your book. Oh, we're going to get back together. I'm going to call on tomorrow. Whatever. That's those keys. That's those keys. You hear me? Okay, so I get the follow-up. The next question is, did I get a meeting on the next level? If they had people there, that's A level, did I go to the B level? Because you see, I make the business work first, and they learn how to do it by me going with them and doing it with them and making it work so there's no decisions to make. And they end up making money, and they learned on the job with me. And it duplicated in the group. So did they bring the people with them? It's ABC pattern. And so when we hold that next meeting, because we got the follow-up, was the person that I did it for with me? If he's not, you got a problem. But if I got the next level, that's like a 20-yard, 30-yard gain. If it was in their home or their location, it's a touchdown. Let me tell you why. It changes everything. When I do the meeting, do the follow-up, their person comes with us, you know, and we go to somebody else's house, it becomes their business. They're putting themselves out there on the line. And we'll book more meetings. So, that ends up making money, not frustrating me. But I got all the keys too. So this key, it's guaranteed before you do it, you see. I do the assessment within 2 weeks because I don't want them to buy OPC3 and one other product and do $50 a month. I want them to buy everything and duplicate it. And if the group has any atrophy, the volume doesn't go away because everybody's already saving and has made the move and it's working and they're happy. Their life just got disturbed. They went into doing, something absorbed them. But they still have to live, they still have to spend, and it's all set up and it just keeps coming in. Did you hear that? What am I doing this for? My health? Last one. It amuses me how when I talk to people and they tell me, oh, listen, you say there's 28 advisory council members, you say that you grew and had so many people sponsored and so many people hit pin levels. Here's what they asked me. How many of them were Chinese? What do you mean? Well, they were probably Chinese. I said, what's wrong with you? You don't have to be Chinese to make the business work. It worked before they came in. The reason you're asking that question is the Chinese are doing something that you're not. So, watch this. Lauren and I fly halfway around the world. The other side of the world, land in Taipei. Beautiful country. The best part of the country is the people. We go to this huge center bigger than this. 28,000 people. A little guy from New Jersey, that had an idea and started hustling it and working on it and working with people. Goes to Taiwan, can't speak a word of Mandarin, and there's 28,000 people screaming, "Ah!" What is it? I mean, okay, I gotta tell you, little key. Frank did it, Elizabeth did it back then. I know that Holden did it. Seemed to have worked. Well, at that convention that I went to, there was a problem. One, they couldn't fit everybody, and two, they had no tickets. Because the next meeting, 6 months out, 3 weeks before, the tickets went on sale and they sold out in 13 minutes. Look, when Ginder bought them tickets, when Elizabeth bought them tickets, they didn't have the people to sell them to. But the ticket burned a hole in their pocket. His story is like mine. He sold 62 out of the 90. People say, well, what do you do about the ones that you didn't sell? I ate them. But the 62 people that came, I ended up making a 200, 300, 400,000 residual income for the last 10 years. Little key. But you see, they get their group in a circle, and they know how many tickets your whole group should do. And they make sure that you buy the tickets for yourself and your whole group and what the goal is for each leg. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, there I am. Those are my little keys. Oh, I got to get my keychain back. The most important thing is the keychain. See, they're not the big keys. These are the little keys that I got in my pocket everywhere I go. Because while you're working with the big keys, I'm opening up the money. And where'd that clicker go? Because I'm going to go on to the next thing. So we're almost done. And we're going to stand up. Oh, there it is. How do you like me so far? I know. Okay. So, what I'm going to show you, and anything that I do, it looks like I'm just doing the basic 5, right? We're all doing the same thing. We're teaching it. I don't need a lot of keys, 5 keys. You know, you can add as many as you want, but you got these little keys. These I carry with me all the time, and they're the things that I do that make the money. It costs the money to come out of it. That's all I'm saying. Now, what happens with us is we get into business and we see people that have made $1 million a year, 600 grand a year, 400, just 100 grand. I love the girl yesterday. I mean, she didn't need to make 200, 300 grand. She just needed to make enough to take care of her family and make ends meet. But she was so good at it, she thought bigger. Okay, so here's the problem. They look at all of you guys and they say, wow, I know it's possible. Joe, you agree with this? They look at all these people making money And they say, I know it's possible. The numbers can't lie. I met the people. I talked to them. It's not phony. It's real. It really works. But it works for them. And for some reason, you accept in your mind, it works for them. I know it'll work. I know it'll work for me. But how do you get way up there? I've done a little bit of it. How do they get so high? How do they grow so far? How do they get so big? They're huge. You agree? Am I telling the truth or not? Is that how you look at it? Okay. I want to show you how it happens. I want to show you how a person hits director, executive director, field vice president. And I want to show you what the problem is inside your brain, because I really care about the fact that you're working it, you're committed, you're dedicated, and you're not getting there fast enough. Okay, fair deal? And then we'll be done. Okay, so we bring it out. Oh, okay, so that's an audible from the sidelines. What it comes down to, though, at the end of the day, is getting in the wheelbarrow. You know, last convention, we walked a tightrope and reenacting that. I can't tell you how scared I was. But we got across. To me, it's kind of an omen, kind of like a blessing from God, but we got across. And so what it's about is, will you get in that wheelbarrow? Will you get in that wheelbarrow? Because if you're not in the wheelbarrow, all this is worthless. Okay? Okay. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay. So, do you believe you're in the wheelbarrow? Okay. What I want to do is spend the next 10, 15 minutes, and then we're done, about if you're in the wheelbarrow, you got the little keys. If you want to go director, if you want to hit a pen level, this is how it's actually done. Okay, so let's suppose you want to go director this year, which is completing one center and maybe having another one going. Right, Dennis? Okay, 187,000. Okay, director's 18,000. That's to be a little higher, 2 legs. Okay, so I got the little keys. They're with me all the time. I have so much fun with them because I work as hard as you, and you work as hard as me. But I keep taking the little keys out and opening the money boxes. Does this make sense to you? I'm not lying to you. I'm not making this up. It's the difference. And I got the keys with it. Do you understand that? Okay, so here's what happens. We get into business, and we see Weber, Keeper, Franks, all these people up at the top. So it must work, right? And you've worked it a little bit, and it's starting to grow, and you want to get up there. And it appears like you got to leap to the top. How did they get up there? And it's so high, and it's so far, but it's so wonderful. I know I can do it because they've done it. Does this make sense to you? Is this what goes through your mind? But you don't know how to get there. You don't know if you can jump up there. You don't know how they got up there. Isn't that true? Come on, I got to hear you. Now, if it's not, say nay. Okay, you done it. Okay, so we take a running start and we leap as high as we can go, trying to get to the top of the stairs. But the reality is, we know that we have to have certain goals and break them down, right? But it doesn't make sense, because even if I do that, I got to get up to the top. How's that going to get me up to the top? So I'm doing a lot of little things, but they might not be measured, they might be organized. I'm not really measuring the daily tasks. I didn't take my goal and break it down to how many legs I need, how many centers I need to qualify, how many people I need to get in order to get that center qualifying, because isn't that the key? So what I got to do each month. Because at the end of the year, it didn't happen because you didn't do what was necessary every month. You get to the 11th month, you don't have anything going. You're not going to hit it in the last month. Do you agree? Okay, and then you do the same thing on the weekly goal. You break down the weekly goal. It's not going to happen if you don't do the daily goal, because the weekly goal gets done by doing the daily goal, which you can control. And if you did the daily goal, which is just 1/7 of the weekly goal, you already have what you need to accomplish the weekly goal. And you can only take the business one day at a time. So, I'll show you how to do this. I'm ready to show you how to leap up to the top if that's what you think it takes to make that type of money. Because all of these things need to be accomplished in order to get to the top. Are you getting this, or are you brain dead by now? I'll leave. I don't need it anymore, I don't think. Where did I put my cards? I need them for when I get down. No, they're down. Over there. I want these. I brought. Huh? Okay, so I'm going to do what you think happens. Now, I might be able to do this because I'm really good at this, but I don't know if you can do it. I know how they all did it, and we're going to try to figure this out. I need to come around. Okay, so I'm going to give it all I got. Get out of my way. Get out of my way.
Not ready, not ready.
You ever had that happen? Somebody gets in your way? It's okay if somebody gets in your way, but don't trip over your own feet.
Okay, ready now.
Woo! Wow. I'm a field vice president. I know what I'm doing, and you can do it too. You can jump right up here. Do you believe that? No, you don't. See, that's the key. You don't believe you can do that. So I wonder how it's going to happen if there's another way. Huh? Hello. Okay, so now what happens, you saw Elizabeth Weber reach that level. Have you ever heard me say, you must succeed so that other people can realize their dreams? You and average people and people you bring in see Elizabeth, they see me, they see that done, but they don't believe that they can do it. They believe that you're different. They believe that what I just did is superhuman. They couldn't do that. True or false? We have to make the brain work just for a few more minutes. Okay. But when you do it with Elizabeth or with me, and we show you the trick and how to get there, all of a sudden the people around you say, wow, it works, because they know you. Does this make sense to you? Sometimes you just have to succeed so that other people will believe. And then it snowballs. This is really the key to the business, isn't it, Elizabeth? You have to succeed and for other people to realize their dreams. But you have to know how to do it. Then everybody believes, especially the person you're doing it with. I hope that sinks in, because there's a reason you're not at the income level and somebody else is. And you want it, and you want to get up there. And when you get up there, everything changes because now it's reality. You proved that it works. But you got to know what's done to get there. Anybody that's hit a high pin level knows that this is the truth. Right? Okay, so what happens is we have a really good, disciplined, smart, unfranchised owner. This is Corey. He's with Cirque du Soleil, or was. He's a professional acrobat. He's a professional gymnast. He's amazing. He trained me how to do the tight walk, rope walk in 2 days. So he's coachable, and I'm coachable, and we work well together. But he saw that. He got into business, and he doesn't quite know how to do it, but he's going to try because he saw what we did. So generally what happens is people don't know the trick, and they don't know how all of these people in the middle section that are in the $1 Million Club got up there. So he's going to try anything. He's positive. He's powerful. He's committed. He believes. He's in the wheelbarrow. And he's going to give it all to make it happen because he thinks you got to jump up. So Corey, show us what you're going to do to get up there.
Well, you know, I don't necessarily believe in all this stuff that you're saying, and I think I could just get it with one jump. One jump, no problem.
Shortcut, right?
Super shortcut.
How many people know people that got shortcuts?
I got it right here.
Huh? Okay, well, let me see your shortcut.
All right, ready? Watch this. I was captain of the basketball team in high school, okay?
Yeah, I thought you were a wrestler. You're about my size. Oh, man. That's not the way you do it.
Okay.
I think you need to come to my keys training.
Yeah, I think so. I gotta try something.
You try to do it all in one jump. You thought you were going to get 1,000 people in all at once, like Dennis, and jump to the top and make all that money?
Okay.
Okay, well, what are you going to try this time?
All right, well.
You're not listening, so you probably do it your own way. Maybe something will work and I'll learn something.
There you go. This is gonna help. I think this is gonna get me up there. Okay.
So, no basic 5, no little keys, but he's enthusiastic. He believes. He's going to give it all he got.
All right.
To try to get up there. Do you have anybody like that? Okay, so this is what you do. Some of you try the craziest things to make it work.
Okay.
So.
Okay. You ready?
You're running ads, you're going to have big meetings, and you're going to get everybody in, and you're going to send them to Dennis to train.
Watch this, JR. Oh, jeez. Okay, that hurt.
Wow, Corey, you got to listen to me. I have a better way. There's techniques, there's steps.
No.
There's ways of doing this.
I can do it. I just need
Anybody
one more
have
time.
somebody like this? I mean, you're pretty amazing. If you would listen to me, I could probably show you how to get this thing done. But you got great ideas. I mean, you know.
I can do this.
I got the little keys.
All right. I got a different technique, okay?
Okay.
Watch this.
How many people have had this experience?
Okay. This is called the perpendicular shuffle. You ready for it?
Yeah. This is a new technique. Oh my God, this must work. This changed what we're doing.
I'm getting there. I'm almost to the top. Almost.
Oh my God, I never saw
Ready,
anybody
JR?
make it this way.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Woo! That was a great try. You almost made $500,000 a year. Almost.
Okay. All right. So, one last shot?
Yeah, I mean, you really think that you can get up there? I mean, 3 different tries, it didn't work. I know that you are going to stay in because you believe you can make it, but I mean, I would like to show you a different way. I mean, go ahead.
No. Cirque du Soleil acrobat, okay? Here we go. All right.
So what happens after a while, a person doesn't stop believing, but they don't accept it. They don't really think that they can get up there because they tried a couple times and they just go through the motions.
Okay.
Get up.
Come on.
You're
come on,
almost there.
Come on. I can do it. I can do it. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Fit.
Do you have anybody with a big mouth that's a showman? You know anybody that hot dogs it, but they don't get the result? Well, maybe we can get them to keep trying.
Okay.
Because you never, never, never quit, Corey. So, after a while, people just go through the motions. They try all types of things. They don't discover the key. They don't use the little keys. They don't break down the goal. And they just go through the motions. But, we're done? No more runs? Yeah. What's this thing?
My microphone.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, that's what, Cirque du Soleil guys wear. Okay, so here's what it comes down to, folks. Many of you have gone through that. You still may not have figured out how to get to the top. After a while, someone just goes through the motions. Yeah, I'm going to the meeting, I got my tickets, and they just kind of like go through the motions and half-heartedly. Isn't that true? Because they don't really believe they're going to get up there. Okay? If Corey can't get up there, how are they going to get up there? Would you agree with that? So, I got to tell Corey something. I got to tell him a secret. You ready to listen?
I think I am now.
Okay, Corey, all those people making $500,000 a year or in the $1 Million Club, making six figures, didn't jump up the wall. They didn't jump up. They cheated. What you didn't know is that there is a stairs that anybody can get up. Take this.
Oh, wow.
Behind the curtain is a stairwell that anybody can get up. So, what it comes down to, Corey, is on a daily basis, we just have to do little things, like promote the business, a little social media, read a goal statement, just like you do when you're training. You keep focused on what you're going to do and what your goals are. Listen to an audio or watch a video to educate ourselves so we become professionals, so we have good lines and we feed ourselves mentally and have a good attitude. And we talk and cultivate possibilities. Everybody that you talk to can only talk about three things: what's happening, how rotten things are, the way they wish things were, and it ends up bringing up what we do, and they might know the right person. That's all we do, 3 a day, and we book one appointment out of that because we're not going to try to get them in. We're just going to try to get them to give us referrals if they know the right people. And then we want to save money on everything we do, so we, every day, not all at once, we work on our shopping annuity assessment a little bit, either with ourselves or with somebody else, helping them find what they need so they can convert their spending into earning. We don't do it all in one clump. That's all we do. It takes a couple hours, 2 to 3, 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, whatever we can fit in. But we do it every day. So here's a big key. It's not doing a whole lot and a whole little. It's doing a little bit every day over an extended period of time. And that's the person who makes the big money. If you do the business really hard and passionately and go nuts for 30 days and stop, everything that you got going undoes. You hear that? It's much more important to be consistent and do a little bit over an extended period of time, not a whole lot and a whole little. And that's what everybody doesn't know. I know what Elizabeth Weber did. I did it with her. She jumped to the top, and she ain't that good. I know because I did it with her. She's consistent. She's dedicated. She's disciplined. And she outdid you all. And here's how she did it. Corey, I'm going to show you what she did, what I did. And if you just do it with me, it'll happen for you.
Sure.
See? So that daily task, everybody see it? I'm going to do those things today. And I'm going to show you how to do them today too, so that you come with me. Where's my next person? Where's the guy that Corey got? Here he comes. Did you tell your wife about this? Okay. Okay, so take that step. So Corey, in that step, you were talking to some of your friends about they might know the right people. There's this shopping annuity thing with this crazy guy, JR, that I trained to walk a tightrope in front of 23,000 people. You know, but you ought to come see it. And that's him. So he now starts the daily process too, but I'm doing it with them. Everybody see that? I'm not sending them out to do it. I'm doing it with them. So I take another step. So we're halfway through the daily steps. I can't see the sign. It's all the way over there. Well, we spent 15 days in the business and didn't get anywhere. Huh? Where's the first one?
Daly's way down here.
Yeah, weekly's right there.
Okay.
You're on the weekly right now.
I got ahead of myself. I like to go real fast anyway. Okay, so at any rate, you with me on this? I do the daily, he does the daily with me, and now you're going to do the daily, and you're going to get somebody in by doing that. Everybody follow this? Ryan, you're going to do this with us as we go. Now, I'm not training just him. I'm training David, and I'm training Ryan all at the same time. Everybody see that? And they're learning by doing it together. They don't have to go out and be scared. Okay? So we take those daily steps. Now, theoretically, by the time Ryan got to the daily steps, I'm at the end of the weekly steps. But because I did the daily steps, I've accomplished the weekly goals because I have enough going to get it done. But if I just waited to the end of the week, I wouldn't have it. How many people get that? You can't do the TLS challenge or an athletic challenge or a weight loss challenge and expect to hit the goal on the 30th day of the month when you didn't do it for 29 days. Does that make sense? Okay, so now if I do the daily goal over and over and over again, it's going to add up to the weekly goal each week automatically. Do you see that? So we're going to keep going up the stairs. Now, David, you make sure that Ryan does it the same way we did it with you.
There you go, guys.
And keep doing it. Okay. Because the weekly goal, 4 weeks automatically add up to the monthly goal. We have enough people, enough assessments, enough follow-ups, and we did them 1 week at a time and got in position to accomplish the weekly by doing the daily. So it just all adds up. We're making it, you know? We're making it to the top. And we all make it. Now, I don't want too many people making big money at once, so you guys stop there. There's one more. So we have now made executive director in 1 year. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Feels pretty good. Now, what happens when you succeed? You have to succeed so other people will realize their dreams. All of a sudden, they believe that it will work. You become the belief system for them. You become the reality. You become the mechanism by which other people believe it's possible and will come up the stairs too. You know the stairs. You know that it works. But the main thing is, it's bigger than you. You all of a sudden symbolize to everybody, just like Weber did, that it really works and that they can do it too, and you're making the money. and living the life. So now that we've made it, our success can reach many people, in other groups even. You become an icon that represents that it can be done by an average person, causing other people to do it. Are you getting this? Your own group, your own team. It influences everybody. I'm at the top, but it's just not that I stay here. That influence spreads. And we're going to show you what we mean. You can be seen by many, huh? What are you telling me? I'm coachable. We are executive directors in 1 year. There's some Chinese that have done it faster. But we buy tickets. You ready?
Let's fly.
Let's fly. Let's show the world. The world, it works. It works. You must succeed so that other people can realize their dreams. Not just me, but Corey. Look at us now. Residual income. An example for all. I discovered the steps and cheated and climbed the staircase. Okay. We believe in you. It's real. It works. You can do it too. You just saw me do it. Okay? I'll need the cards. Congratulations. Great guy. Staten Island. Congratulations. Okay, we're done, right? Okay, I'm closing. I want to show you something that creates a magic moment in each person who experiences it. Thousands of years ago, Plato sought out a mentor, and he wanted to find the secret of success. And he went to Socrates. Socrates told him to meet him on the beach, and he would tell him the secret. But you couldn't really understand it intellectually by being told it. He told him that you have to experience it. And only when you experience it will it become real or valuable to you. Now this ceremony, this exercise, this demonstration is kind of very esoteric to anybody who's an entrepreneur. It's been repeated many times over the years by mentor-mentee relationships, okay? In it is a bit of a brain spanking. You gotta have a little pain to wake up, right? It's a little brain spanking, but you'll be all right. But there's also an epiphany, an insight, a realization, an angel that changes your life forever if you embrace it. It might chase you away. It might scare you. It might not be something that you can commit to have the life you want. Okay? But it's definitely the truth. And of course, the truth shall set you free. So, you gotta want to succeed. So we're gonna roll this little video and show you an experience, kind of like an entrepreneurial baptism, if you will, that I did in the same manner that Socrates did it to Plato. And it talks a lot to what you've got to walk away with, to what's going to make it work for you, for what the magic moment is for you. You ready?
Hey, JR.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing? You're on time. That's great. So, what was it that you wanted to know?
I wanted to know what success was all about. What was success?
Well, that's interesting. Why do you want to know that?
Because I want to be at your level. I want to be where you are in life. That's what I want. Really being successful.
Well, Andrew, as you know, you have to have a why, and you have to know what you want to do. But any field of endeavor has a commonality when it comes to success. And unfortunately, it's something that you have to experience. It's something that you don't know intellectually. But let's take a walk to the water, and maybe we can figure it out.
Okay. Come on, JR. Why are we doing this? All I want to do is learn what success is all about. I don't want to be a swimmer or lifeguard. I just want to make money.
Look, Andrew, just listen. Just do what I say. Let's just go a little deeper.
Come on, JR. Why are we doing this? I just want to know what success is.
Okay, Andrew, watch this.
What the hell are you doing? I just wanted to know what's successful. I just want to succeed, make a lot of money, and be rich. What are you doing out there? I was drowned. You almost drowned me.
I know, Andrew, but you're all right. What did you want more than anything when you were beneath that water?
I just wanted to breathe. I just wanted a breath of air.
That's what success is. You must want to succeed like you want to breathe.
I understand.
You have to experience.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for that. I can do it.
Okay? So, we come to the end, and the end is the beginning. You leave tomorrow and go back to their towns. Some of you are going on a cruise, but you go back to different corners of the world, different corners of the country, and we carry a common belief together. The key to it is you succeeding, it becoming a reality. So I'm here to tell you what you just saw speaks to certain very important personal things. I'm not talking to everybody else, I'm talking to you. You must want it badly. It's more important than anything because it fulfills your purpose in life or your why. Most important, the most important thing is this. You have to be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. At any moment, what you are is not where you want to stay or where you want to be. You must be willing to sacrifice what you are or what you're doing for what you will become. And I hate to tell you this, but I'm glad to tell it to you because if you get it, it's God's law. You are exactly where you are in life right now because that's where you want to be. That's what you've accepted. You don't want badly enough not to be there or to change it because in the creative laws, He already gave you the power to move on to where you want to be. But you gotta want it that bad. You're gonna have to do a lot. You're gonna have to work real hard. You're gonna have disappointments, but if you want to succeed like you want to breathe, like you want that breath of air. I held him under that water for 2 minutes. That was a real struggle. He was mad at me afterwards. But he got it. You're going to have pain. It's hard. But you're already in pain, aren't you? To one degree or another. So what difference does it make? But if you quit, that pain is forever. But if you want it like that breath of air, I think you'll break through. The pain will subside and be replaced by something else. Eventually, maybe in steps, maybe all at once, it'll be replaced by what you want, your why. I experienced it in my own life. I've experienced it with other people, hundreds, in their lives with me. I know it to be the truth. I know it to be the secret. And in this business, it's a simple matter of not trying to jump to the top, not doing the spectacular thing that seems unimaginable, not a goal that's out of reach, but learning simply to break it down and walk the steps like we all did and carry the little keys with you. And you'll be back here as a director. God bless you. Can I have the corporate team come up? We believe in you. I missed you up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Market America corporate team.
Did you see me fly?